Hello? Is my stream volume okay? Is everything alright? It's good. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Hello. Hello, guys. It should be sponsored. Oh, well, it's not in the title yet because, the sponsored segment doesn't happen until, like, after. Or, like, an hour after. Hi, guys. How are you? I'm so excited. Well, okay, I was supposed to stream at 2, but I was making my food. Wait, let me show you guys this food. It's fire. It actually tastes really good because I did eat a little bit of it while I was making food, or while I was making it. But I don't know if you can see, but it's delicious. I can't wait to eat it. I haven't ate yet, so I am hungry. What a nice plate. Isn't it such a nice plate? I don't know where my brother got this plate, but it's pretty nice. Also my jacket. I'll just throw this back here. Okay. Oh no, I'm not gonna. No, I was cooking off stream. Um, I got back home yesterday from SoCal, so I didn't have enough time to like set up anything, and I like sort of slept in today because I'm feeling kind of sick. Like when I woke up this morning, my throat really hurt, but it's getting better. And I made myself some green tea with honey, so hopefully that'll make my throat feel better. Can you guys hear my music, or is it really quiet for you guys too? I can barely hear it. Okay, maybe this is better. Is this better? Hope you feel better. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I hope it goes away. I don't... It's just like, my nose is just gonna be more runnier than usual, which I feel bad because my nose is runny to begin with, but it's even more so runny today, so... Thank you for the 2 months, Ryan. Oh, wait. Sub. I honestly don't know what to do today because I feel like I shouldn't be talking that much because of my throat hurting, but I don't know. Thank you for the 28 months, Julie. Thank you. And thank you for the 6 months, Olasfila. Thank you. Kimmy, they buff Scourge. Oh, I saw that. Hi, Matthew. What did they buff about Scourge? I really need to sneeze. Okay. I don't think I have another one coming. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Maps are faster to Scourge and the Scourge mods are better in general because they remove some bad... What bad mods? I guess I never did the league mechanics, so I don't know what was bad. Wait, can you guys see my glasses fog up every time I drink out my tea? Actually, I guess you guys can't really see it. What is my shirt? I don't know, I just saw it online. I thought it was kind of cute, but oh no, it has like this ripped, like, I don't know what to call it, like the color. It has like these paper clips. You know, if I ever need some paper clips, I could just clip this off. I don't know, something like that. It's like a t-shirt dress, I suppose. You're likely to hit rare monsters drop X now before you could hit item rarity. I see. Are these paper clips or safety pins? Honestly, okay, they look more like safety pins, not paper clips. But you know, they could probably double. But yeah, do I have a Halloween costume? I don't really know if it's a costume. It was like a cosplay I had sitting around for a really long time, so I'll probably try that on tomorrow to see how it looks. Depending on if I like it or not, I guess you guys will see or not. But it's from Genshin Impact. I talked about it with Arya and Celine because it was funny because they also have cosplays from a Genshin Impact character. But let's see. The song is loud now. Okay. I feel like for this stream, I feel like I want to watch something on stream. I want to like sit back and watch something so I don't have to talk as much. So I don't like like hurt my throat more, I guess, since it's aching or it hurts a little bit. What parody? Space documentaries? Okay, I that would make me fall asleep for sure. Watch every Naruto filler episode. Okay, I don't think I'm allowed to do that on stream. Did you watch Worlds? You feel bad? I woke up and I saw everyone tweet about it, saying that they felt bad for SKT. They lost 2-3, right? That's really tragic. Honestly, I don't think I could handle how sad they look. I would feel really bad. Like, I remember last time Faker looked sad at Worlds, and I was like, my heart is breaking. Like, it's the most sad thing ever. Like, Faker's always a player that I've always liked. You know, it's like I just want him to win like one more time before, you know, and I feel like you could be happy. You'd be okay with Showmaker looking sad? Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I don't have that much of an attachment to Showmaker. You know what? Showmaker already has Sunmi supporting him, so he can't ever be sad. Like, he literally has a K-pop buff. Like, what? The man probably feels unstoppable. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Faker has a lot of fans too, but Sunmi like really likes Showmaker, so. Yeah, I remember seeing a little bit of a Korean show, and I think they know of. I don't know if they're like super fans, but I think they just like know of him and like. Yeah, and Showmaker already won. But I mean, that one's so good. So thank you for the sub with Prime, Mr. Yoshimatsu. Thank you. Plus, he's handsome. Who's handsome? Faker? Or are you talking about Showmaker? You guys are see my glasses fog up? I love Carrie is my favorite player. I love Carrie. Like, I was a DRX fan, and like I just loved Carrie to death. They were just so funny. They were like, they had like such a big contrast in like personalities, but I loved watching it. And Carrie's just such a funny guy. But that's sad. That's sad that they lost. I don't think I would watch it because I would feel I don't want to see them look sad, and I would feel bad. So I just know the standings. So when is finals then for almost at LCS for Worlds? Let's see. League. Next weekend. Who's playing tomorrow? Edward Gaming versus Genji. Okay. Interesting. What time does Worlds like usually start? Do I know Karya personally? No, I don't. What makes you think I know Karya personally? Just because he's Korean and I'm Korean doesn't mean that I would know him personally. No, I don't know him personally. I just know of him because he was on DRX and I like DRX. 8 o'clock EST. Oh, I thought you were saying 8 p.m. I was like, that's really early, but okay, 5 a.m. Pacific. I mean, I'll just probably watch the finals for Worlds. I'm not very interested in EDG versus, what do you call it? Genji. Thank you for the $5. You just followed me. Thank you. Thank you for following. How long have me and Faker been? I don't know. We go way back. You know, we're like friends in elementary. No, I'm just kidding. But are my art commissions open? No. Oh my gosh, my nose is really runny, like super runny. And it's just, do I dare watch what happened? Like I'm kind of curious as to like what it like how sad they look, but I also don't want to be heartbroken. Thank you for the bits, Beavis. It was really close. Oh, I hate that. Or it's just so sad. It's so sad for them. Next year they got it. That's what they all say. I mean, we'll see. We're the top laner for T1. Kana? So you guys, Kana did bad? From my recollection, Kana doesn't do that bad. He got rolled top lane. Who's he against? Khan, right? Khan is the top laner for someone. You know what? It's because Khan has to go to the military next year, so he's buffed up. Like, you know what? Yeah, after this, like, he has to go to the military. So, you know, honestly, I hope they win. Just, you know, for Khan, so he can go to the military in peace. Khan is script buff. I mean, I like Khan. Khan seems like a fun person. Military duty, yeah. As long as he's got that on his back, that'd be pretty nice. The reverse sweep. The old written tale. I definitely, if I were awake for that series, I would have been really invested in it, but I got home last night and I knocked out. Because my flight actually got delayed. My flight was supposed to be at 7, like 7:30. And it got delayed all the way till like almost 10 o'clock, so that was lovely. So I didn't get home until like 12. So that was what I wanted to do was get home, you know, get home by like 9. I actually wanted to stream last night, but I couldn't, so. Military duty is the same for like everyone in Korea, like all males. Like, some people can get like easier services, I guess. You can always postpone it, but you have like until a certain age that you can't do it. Like, you have to go. I feel like I forgot what the age like cap was, like 30 or something. But yeah, like you can keep postponing your military service until like you're older, but like that's like the limit, and then like once you are that age, like you have to go. And then yeah, like some people take like like they're like different things, and some like I guess like idols or like famous figures, they take like the easier route, I guess, and like they usually do like some like service, like more like working at like a desk sort of thing, but it's like really kind of like frowned upon if they do that. So I don't know, it's just like, but like also some people actually have like conditions where they can't do some things, so that's what they have. But it's like, it's very dependent, I suppose. And you know how Korea's very judgmental, so like dependent on what you choose to do, like they will judge you. Yeah, I know, like people are trying to get Faker exempt from the military and stuff. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna go. But yeah, some people can get exempt from the military, but I mean, it depends, but I feel like with how the general public views things like these, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna serve. He's gonna go. He probably will. He probably, like, based off what I have seen from him, he will probably just go. I could be wrong. I don't know anything about him. I'm just assuming. You know, this kale is really good. It's like kale with like garlic herb butter. Like, I'm not a big kale fan, but it's pretty good. My glasses are from Glasses USA. I don't remember the model name. I wish I could tell you. I think it starts with an O. But I don't know. That looks good. I know. Wait until that kale hits 16. Oh no. League of Legends talk. So I'm gonna be like munching on my food because I haven't ate yet today. But as I was cooking this earlier, I was like, I'm gonna be eating good today. What is it? It's beef tenderloin and shallot pan sauce, and there's squash and there's kale. I'm telling you guys, if like you can follow instructions, you can make these dishes and it'll taste really good. Not even at the sponsored part of my segment yet, but it's really good. This is from HelloFresh. It's this one right here. Does it look similar? I don't know. Definitely made mine look a little more different, but pretty close. Following instructions, I know, it might be a little hard. That did you guys ever have like, I don't know if your elementary school teachers ever did it, but like, it was basically like they would like test you on like if you could follow instruction. Like they would just like give you a random test, or like, it was one of my teachers. They would like give me like, they would like give everyone like a piece of paper, and they'd be like, okay, take this quiz or test. But there's like a bunch of instructions on it, and it's like basically testing if you read through everything, because like at the bottom it says like, okay, if you read all of this, then like do that. So it's like, I've had a couple of elementary school teachers do that. I'm like, okay, awesome. You did it as an icebreaker for work? Oh. Interesting. My bangs look good, thank you. I wish I could like eat and talk at the same time, but it's rude to eat with your mouth full. So I mean, sorry, talk with your mouth full, eat with your mouth full, talk with your mouth full. So. Thank you for the 34 months. So thank you. Tier 3, 34 months. Thank you so much. Almost 3 years. Holy moly. That's some good tea. You know, if it's a cold, gloomy day, you're not feeling well, just having some green tea with honey, delicious. Arya's not here. She's definitely at home. Well, actually, I don't know where she is, but she's definitely not here in NorCal. Or so I don't think. I'm not sure. I mean, I just got home yesterday, so. Arya would make it look better. Thank you for subbing, Breadcrumb. Thank you. Where'd I go? I went to, sorry. I went to SoCal for a show. And it was like such a disappointing show. I was like, why did I even go? But you know, I had fun with friends, so. I got to see my friends, so I'm happy, but. Let me go see if that's what it is. I think so. I think that is the name of the glasses. I went to go see Arlo Grimes' Halloween show, and yeah, I did not enjoy that at all. Usually I like his Halloween mixes, but this year was not my type of music, so that's okay. I got to see my friends and talk with them, so it was nice. I do not mind. Oh my god. Okay, so there's this place in LA. When my friends and I went to go see Tina in Vegas, we had like a lunch with her. She was telling us about this one place in LA that just has like the best bread and butter ever. And she went on about it for like 30 minutes. And I was like, wow. Like that just stuck with us. So I was like, next time I'm in SoCal, I'm gonna go to this place. Sounds like Tina, yeah. Well, Tina's very cute. Actually, we were at this place, or where we went to eat. It like gave us like, there's like a lunch option, so we all ordered oysters, and with the oysters, it was paired with like this like raspberry vinegar on the side, and she was. When it came out, she was like, oh my god, they gave us berry soup. And she literally took a spoonful and she ate it and she was like, this isn't berry soup. I just thought it was the funniest. Tina is so funny. Like, Tina is just funny without trying. But yeah, good soup. Literally good soup. It was the cutest little thing I've seen. I was like, how can one human being be so adorable? But yeah, yeah, she was. Thank you for the 28 months for Tony Dongery. Thank you. Sorry, my nose is really ready. But yeah, back to the bread and butter place. She was like, don't let them fool you with just regular butter. If you think it tastes like regular butter, trust your instincts, and then ask for the French butter. And then I was like, okay. So she was like drilling into our heads. I was like, alright. So we went to this place and I had the butter. I was like, this is French butter. I can tell. Like I've had regular butter in my life. Like I, out of curiosity, like took a piece like from a stick of butter and ate butter to see what it tasted like, and I know I know how bland it is. So it's like, yes, this is French butter. But she was very correct. It was really good. They have like these, but the baguettes are really hard to tear apart. But the French butters are really good. It's delicious. It's from a place is called Republic or something like that. If you guys ever go there, you guys should go get just I think it's called the morning bread, like the bread and butter and the jam. Actually, I don't like jam, but the jam that they served was actually really good. So, I mean, I love butter. I love putting butter on everything. I just don't do it as much because it's not very healthy. But I mean, I freaking love butter. Okay, I don't like jam as in, if I have a piece of bread and I have other options, jam is not what I'm going to go for. I'm not much of a sweet person. I mean, I don't know, like, or I'm much more of a peanut butter person than jam. Jam is kind of like, it's too sweet for my bread. Peanut butter is like filling at least, but I feel like jam makes me hungrier. That's what it is. Like, I put it on a piece of toast and it makes me want to eat more. Instead of like, if I have peanut butter on my toast and it fills me up, I'm like, okay, I'm good. But just, I feel like if I eat something super sweet, it makes me want to keep eating more. Because, I don't know, just like drives me to munch more. So I like savory. I'm much more of like a savory, sour, salty type of person instead of like sweet. Also reflective of my personality, if I do say so myself. I'm not a very sweet person. I'm more of like a salty person, sour person. Peanut butter is dry. Well, that's what you have water for, or some drink. Thank you for the 10 months, Toba. Thank you. You had honey butter garlic on toast, and it was a good. Yeah, that sounds really, really nice. Nope. Oh, you already know. Sometimes I can be unhinged, sort of, kind of, I don't know. It depends. I will put my foot down if it has to be put down. This piece of hair keeps like curling up every time I try to eat and it goes into my mouth. I love spicy. Spicy is delicious. I'm trying to chew everything. Spicy is the best. But the one thing about spice is that it also makes you want to keep eating more. Because, like, spice is really addicting. So, when I'm eating spicy food, I tend to eat a lot of it. Thank you for the 1 year, Futsu. Thank you. Do I go for pain and spicy? No, I don't like... I'm not trying to die when I'm trying to eat spicy. I just like... I like the spice at a nice level. Something where I think it's like a bit hot. I mean, at least tolerable. But like, I don't want to like take a bite and need to like cool off. Like, I want to be able to eat it in like good amounts, I suppose. It's like if I'm trying to think of like the spiciest thing I've had before. I'm pretty sure the spiciest thing I've had before was like this pepper. My mom was like, oh yeah, we grew this, and it was just the hottest pepper I've ever had in my life. She's like, Biden? She's like, I just grew this in our backyard, try it. And I was like, I was dying. My whole family was dying. We all took a bite and we're like, this is too spicy. I mean, it had the seeds and everything, so I mean... tried ghost pepper. What's considered spicy? I've never tried the spicy chip challenge because I've seen people do that in front of my own eyes, and let me tell you, I am not ever interested in doing that ever. Because my friends who did that, one literally went outside and laid on like the pavement, and like one was just contemplating life. So I was like, you know, I'm good. I will pass on that. I do not want to be where they're at. So, laying out, like, they were like laying on like the driveway, and it was like cold outside. It was like probably during around this time actually, like October, November-ish. Like they were trying to like cool off. Like they drank a ton of milk. They were just dying. I was like, yep, I'm okay. I think I've witnessed it to see what it's like. I'm not curious as to how I would take it, so. Also, yeah, I mean, thinking about when you eat spicy things and when it's time to go to the bathroom, I also would not enjoy that experience, so I feel like I'm good. Like, I would never, I would never want to eat something so spicy because, like, you've had that initial pain, and then, like, you have pain coming later, too, so it's like, why would you want to torture yourself with that? Did I lay with them? No, I was like, I'm pretty sure this was like when Worlds was happening, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. We were over at someone's house. I think I was over at Sean's house actually, and then, yeah, they were just dying, so I was like, okay. Do I like fire noodles? Yeah, fire noodles are alright. I'm not really particular to like the taste of it though. I mean, I think it's good every once in a while, but I don't really find myself craving it often. I feel like for instant noodles, I just like... I think my favorite instant noodle to have is like mee goreng. Or just, you know, like shinramen. I don't know. It's like those two I like eating the most. Because I just like everything that tastes good with an egg. Okay, well, every instant noodle kind of just tastes good with an egg. But I feel like those two taste the best with eggs, to me, at least. So, I don't know. That's just me. Just like a nice fried egg, or like a nice fried egg on top, or just throwing in the egg while it's boiling. And I like putting Spam. I've never tried sesame ramen. Thank you for the sub with Prime Poseidon. Thank you. What isn't good with an egg? That is true. I think like almost everything is good with an egg. Scallions, Spam. Okay, now you guys are making some gourmet ramen, you know? For like the basic thing I put in, at least if I'm feeling, you know, just not like only the instant packet, it's just like Spam and an egg. And that's what I put in. But like, you guys are getting fancy, putting in some more vegetables. When I was younger, my favorite thing to do was after I had the instant ramen, like the leftover broth, I would put rice in it and then I would eat it together. I ate so much when I was younger. Like I can't do that anymore because I don't think my stomach could fit that. But like that back then, it hit. It was really good. But I can't do that anymore. Like my stomach definitely can't handle as much as it used to. I think my stomach would get very upset, and I think it's because of the age. Like, a lot of things that I used to eat as a child, I definitely can't eat anymore because my stomach won't tolerate it. Unfortunately. I wish it would, but it doesn't, so. I'm not saying I'm old, but I'm saying there's definitely a difference between my stomach when I was younger and currently. Like, when I was younger, I could eat McDonald's without any repercussions. But now when I eat McDonald's, my stomach hurts. I gotta go to the bathroom, like, immediately. That kind of thing, you know, it's like very greasy and oily. When I was younger, I was just like a vacuum. I would just like I would just eat everything in sight without having to think about it. But McDonald's so nasty? You think so? I love McDonald's. McDonald's is delicious. No matter what, okay. I'm pretty sure a majority of you guys went through this, like in high school health classes. You guys probably saw that documentary, right? Like Super Size Me or some other like health documentary. That actually made me stop eating fast food for like a good 2 years. But then like at some point I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna go back to like, it tastes good. I really don't care. Yeah, it made me stop for like a very, like, it made me stop for like 2 years in like high school. And then, yeah, I just went back to it. And now I don't care. I mean, obviously I'm not going to eat it every single day because I want to take care of my body. But if I could eat it every day without feeling bad, I probably would. I got to watch it in class. I mean, yeah, that's what they showed us in health class. They were like, alright guys, we're gonna watch something in class today. And you're like, okay. And then I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I stopped eating fast food for a good 2 years. And then I was like, you know what? What's the point? It's like, I want to eat it, but then I was thinking, like, I would always think about, like, thinking back to the documentary. But at this point, I'm like, you know what? It's fine. But I miss being able to eat what I used to be able to. So, like, when I was younger, my favorite thing from McDonald's was a Big Mac. Like, every single time I'd go to McDonald's, I would always order a Big Mac. But, like, now, like, when I think about ordering one, it's like, it sounds good in my head, but it's a bit too much. Like, when you really think about it, there's, like, 2 patties. There's 3 pieces of bread. I'm just like, that's a lot to eat in one sitting. So I'm like, I usually go for like a McChicken or a double cheeseburger and some like fries. Actually, you know what's really good? There's a Super Size Me too. Not really. I did not know that. But have you guys ever tried the Chips Ahoy McFlurry? It's really, really good. If you guys have it in your area, you should actually try it. Like, my brother got it a couple days ago, and I tried it. He's like, yeah, I really like this. I've had it a couple times. I'm like, okay. And he's like, you should try it. I was like, alright. I was like, wow. This is really, really, like, I usually get the Oreo McFlurry, and I usually feel like the Oreo McFlurry is kind of lacking. Like, I usually just sprinkle some, like, Oreo dust in the top, you know, and then, like, once you get through all of it, it's just, like, all ice cream. But the Chips Ahoy is really nice. There's, like, caramel. Do you guys say caramel or caramel? I don't know. Anyway, but it has, like, a nice balance. There's one time he had, like, he had the ice cream and the lady, like, put some in the middle, like, the cookies, and then she made it, and then she like, put it in between and on top, and I was like, wow. She knows what she's doing. What about dipping chips? Chips? I mean, I've dipped my fries, and I think dipping fries in shakes are good, but I've never dipped, like, potato chips. But I guess it wouldn't be that different. I guess the only... Yeah, if they're not from the US, they probably... But, I mean, maybe they do mean potato chips, I'm not sure. If I have Culver's in my area, get a vanilla concrete mixer with Oreos, that's what a McFlurry's... What's a Culver's? I've never heard of that. Culver's. That's in Wisconsin. Wait, is there one here? What? Nope, there's not. There is not one. It says it's in Wisconsin. Wait, what? Or maybe it's around places, but I definitely don't think it's in the Bay Area from what I see. Have I ever tried deep fried Oreos? I've never tried like deep fried thing, like when deep fried Oreos were like a hot thing and people would have them at fairs and stuff. I've never tried it. I don't know how I feel about them. Like, maybe when I was younger, I probably would have been like, yeah, this is my stuff. But like when I look at it, I'm like, it doesn't look that appetizing. Are they good? It goes well with ice cream. Okay, it probably would. I've never had like deep fried ice cream either. I've always wanted to try that, but I've never tried deep fried Oreos either. They're super mushy. Yeah, I can imagine what they taste like. But I don't know. It tastes like your arteries are gonna clog, so I don't know about that. I don't know if I like the sound of that. Have I tried boba guys? I have. I feel like when I first came to San Francisco, I liked boba guys, but then as I think about it, I'm like, I feel like it's a bit overrated. It's alright. It's not, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Like, I would say, like, you should try it once, but it's not the best to me, at least. Hi, Haru. I'm not much of a... I guess I'm not much of a milk tea drinker. I always get fruit tea, so that could also be why. I like places depending on their fruit tea. So I really like Happy Lemon. I think Happy Lemon's really good. I also like sea salt cream things, so I like Yifang. I like Happy Lemon. I feel like those are like the two places that I get if I do order. If you want, I had the Alley recently actually when I went to Vegas. That place really good too. I had like their strawberry, I don't know what the name of it was exactly. It was like this strawberry like slushy kind of thing. That was pretty good. And the boba place that I could recommend in the city, if you guys ever go to San Francisco, is Black Sugar. I like Black Sugar a lot. If you guys like brown sugar milk, and they have really good boba. Like, I usually don't like boba. I don't get boba in my drinks, but I feel like their boba's like nice and like it's coated with brown sugar and it's warm and it's soft and chewy. It's delicious. I would recommend that one. But yeah, I mean, I don't go out to the city that often, so those are like the only Happy Lemon, Black Sugar, Yifang are like the places that I would recommend. I just don't like the pearls. I'm just not a fan, like, usually. I do like it in like brown sugar or like black sugar milk tea, but if it's just like regular boba, I'm not really much of a fan. I'm like, it's alright. It's also really filling. It makes me like uncomfortably full, you know? So I'm like, I'd rather not. And I usually have fruit teas. So if I get fruit teas, I usually just get lychee jelly. So that is my alternative. I like jellies. I don't really like toppings. The two things that I get is lychee jelly or like sea salt cream. That's like, or salted cheese from Happy Lemon. And then the only things that I like in my drinks, and then everything else I'm like, no thanks. I mean, it's all preference, so if you guys like boba, that's great. But I mean, I'm just not a boba person, I guess. Sea salt cream is just like I don't know how else to describe it. It's just sea salt cream at the top, and it's just like nice to have with your drink. It's just like foamy. It's a little bit salty, and it just pairs well with a lot of teas. Tastes good. Do I like Laffy Taffies? No, not really. Am I playing PoE today? No. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm slowly eating my food. Actually, I was watching a podcast. I was watching the Offline TV podcast, the one with Scar in it last night. Well, I watched it last night and the day before, because I fell asleep. But the funny thing is, like, I fell asleep to listening to their podcast, and then I could hear the podcast in my dreams. I'm pretty sure I had like 8 different dreams, and I would just hear the podcast, like I would hear their voices in my dreams, and I was like, and I knew, like, while I was dreaming, I was like, I can hear the podcast in the back, like this is playing, but I don't want to wake up to turn it off, so I'm just gonna leave it running. Thank you for the 13 months Ultra Purple. Thank you for the sub with Prime Shredder. Thank you. I think it was a really interesting one. I wanted to watch the one with Iman in it, so maybe that's what I'll do while I eat. Cause I don't want it, like, my throat still like hurts, or like I can feel it hurting again, so I don't want to talk too much. So I'm trying to like trying to find something to do on stream where I don't have to talk as much, so I don't hurt my throat as much. Hydrate. I'm drinking some tea. My nose is so runny. Would you guys be down to watch? Did I like the new PoE League? I do, actually. I've had fun, but I mean, I haven't been home. I'm finally home. November is literally like my hibernation month. Like, I'm staying home. I'm not going outside. I'm only on my computer. I'm gonna play games. I'm really excited because so next week, Lost Ark beta is coming out. I'm really excited for that. It comes out on the 3rd, I think. And then Pokemon is in the latter half of November. But I'm so excited for Lost Ark, because Lost Ark, it's such a nice looking game. And I've been talking with my friends and asking them, like, are you gonna play? And then some of my friends did research and they're like, you know, I'll play this game. At first they were like, I don't know, and they're like, actually, I think I'll play. And then it just excites me because it's just so nice to have to like play with all your friends in an MMO, and it's just like that nice social aspect, and it's just fun, and just spending time with each other, and I think it will be nice. And then there's an Animal Crossing update, so whenever I don't feel like doing much, I could just probably play that. But Lost Ark, I'm like really excited for. I think I know what class I'm gonna play. I think I'm just gonna play a bard. Because my friend was doing research on Lost Ark and he said they were good in PvP as well. So it's like, you know what? I'll just make one. I do like playing support class a lot, so yeah, I will probably make one. No one wants to play them. I love playing support. Like, if I'm playing with my friends, then I'm always down to play like a supportive class. But I mean, if I were just playing by myself, then probably not. But if I know people who are playing, then I'm more than down to do that. I think it's fun. Also, then you don't really have trouble finding things. Like, people always want you if you're playing a class that's like needed, but people don't like playing. So it's like free passage. It's like if you're like looking to do like a raid or like a dungeon, people are like, oh yeah, we need more like healers. Like, you know, people don't like playing tanks and healers. Everyone wants to play DPS. So if you're either of those two, then you know you're more wanted, and it's easier for you to get into things. So I'm like, there's an upside to it as well. Thank you for the sub with Prime your name, Lynn. Thank you. It seems like pressure. Okay, but the thing is, like, you know, if you're playing a support class for someone, or like, you know, you're in like a party, it's like they really don't have much to say, because it's like, you know what, if you are complaining about someone's support, then why don't you just go play? You can always fire back at them. It's like, you know what, maybe you should do it yourself then. See how hard our job is, because you know, some people, I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes whenever I used to do like WoW dungeons, it would stress me out because of like the way that my group, or like the players that I'm like have been queued up with, are playing, and like they don't understand how much stress you go through, and like you're just like sweating bullets while like they're like running into every single mechanic or just taking a bunch of damage, and they're just making it harder. And they're like, ugh, like, why am I dying? It's like, well, why don't you just try dodging and then you don't take some damage, you know? I actually had a friend, okay, I remember this so vividly. It was like beginning of Shadowlands. We're doing Sires and Athreus for like the first time. And like, you know, everyone uses some like damage reduction, or they use like, mages have like that one thing where it's like ice blocked or whatever. And he would never use that. And then he would always complain about dying in like this one phase of Sire Denathrius where it just only targets like one person. And he's like, why are the healers like protect or like healing me? It's like, dude, you have to pop like your defensive ability if you want to live through that. Like some people who like only have the mind of playing DPS and don't know like what other players or like characters or classes can do for you. It's like, you're making our lives a lot harder here. No one told him. Oh no, we told him, and he's like, and then he was like, I shouldn't have to. And then we're like, no, like everyone is doing it. Like you have to if you want to live through that. And then they're like, and then he like finally did, and then we're like, okay. And then he stopped dying. So I mean, like, but it was just funny. Thank you for the 37 months love drop. Thank you. Okay, I need to go. I need to blow my nose. It's so runny. One hour mark? Oh, okay. Perfect. I was thinking, or well, I don't know. I'm really congested. What do you guys do when you're like super congested? I hate it. Anyway, let me do start my HelloFresh thingy. Oop. Wow, Poggies! Sponsored by HelloFresh. Wow! Nap through the congestion. The humidifier helps you. I need to have this on for a little bit. awesome. So I'm just like munching really loudly. Okay, as you guys know, thank you for the 18 months, Tuddles. Thank you. Vapor Rub air filter. I don't know. As you guys know, I'm partnered with HelloFresh. If you guys are interested in getting some HelloFresh boxes, you can get 14 meals for free across 5 boxes and free shipping with the code HUNE14. Oh gosh. I'm just like doing this off the top of my head. I'm just like, I don't know what to say. Do you have any favorite meals? So I brought the meal cards because I wanted to show you guys what I got for my meals. So this is what I'm eating today. Actually, I will show you. This is what it looks like on the card. This is what I'm eating. Okay, it doesn't look as appetizing because, you know, I like ate through some of it. But, you know, my picture makes it look better that I post on Twitter. What else did I get? I got the Tex-Mex bowl. I'm excited. Honestly, I like the bowls a lot. Because I've used HelloFresh before, and these are the things that I get. And this triple mushroom truffle nochi? How do you pronounce this? I think the G is silent. I'm excited. I like mushrooms. Please don't flame me for my pronunciation. Gnocchi? Yeah, it is reversed. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for helping me out with the pronunciation. G silent like lasagna. Okay, Lil Wayne. Gnocchi? Gnocchi? Like Loki. Okay, thank you guys. But yeah, I mean, should I bring out the bag to show you? I can show you guys what like the inside of the bags look like the things. So like this is the bag that had like everything for what I made today. So it comes nicely packaged, like all the chives are in this package. There's squash. I don't want to hold this up because, you know. Then they have like packets of sour cream, like everything that you need. It's just perfectly in these like little packets. So there's like no like waste or like extras where you don't feel bad. It's like a little shallot. And like the package is kale. It's like it's nice and pre-packaged. It's like if you don't have time to go grocery shopping or like you don't know how much you need, it's just, I guess if you're like starting off cooking, it's just really nice to like learn. I feel like definitely like you can, you know, wean off of these, but they also have like a bunch of recipes. So it's like if you get it once, it's like you always have the meal card. And it's just nice. So it's like you know how to make different things over time, right? I'm gonna go put this back. It's perfect for a gamer. It's actually perfect for people who like don't know how to cook. Or like people who don't have many like meal ideas, I guess. Or because I mean, I personally go on YouTube a lot, or like the only reason that I go on YouTube most of the time is for cooking, or like I'm watching people cook. so I get ideas of what to cook every now and then. But I feel like HelloFresh is just nice because, I mean, they literally have like this, and then they have like all the instructions on the back. Tells you what to do. So it's like, it's hard to fail. Unless if you literally can't follow instructions, then I mean, that's just tragic. And I'm sorry, but yeah. Thank you for the 4 months, SD. Thank you for the sub with Prime. Sincon, thank you. You can burn water. Okay, I really doubt that. Hi, come say hi. They have pictures. Yeah, they have pictures, so it like shows like things if you. Oh, he's sniffing my food. Say hi, stream. Hello, guys. I really hate being held. Okay, I'm sorry. Is this the same person? Why do you... Oh wait, oh never mind. So I had my chat was like stuck and it was scrolled all the way to the top towards like the beginning of the stream. So I read the message where it said, "Do you know Carrie personally?" And I was like, why is someone asking me this right now? And I was like, wait, never mind. This is at the beginning of my stream. Thank you for the 52 months, Ryan. Thank you. Reading is for nerds? You think so? I like reading sometimes. Reading is not bad. See, I like the title of this podcast because it says love and drama, so that sounds like it'd be spicy. I'm excited to watch a podcast while I eat, so I don't have to talk while eating in between. But yeah, I mean, I am personally very excited for the games coming up in November. I plan to play... What do I want to play? I want to play Lost Ark and play Maple Story, Lost Ark, Pokemon, and Valorant. Those are like the 4 games I want to play. And then the toughest thing is that, you know, I want to draw too. But it's so hard to draw while you're playing games and then like splitting up your time, and it's just like, I wish I could sprout another pair of arms so I could draw at the same time. And I think I would just need another head, or just, you know, clone myself, because I would need another pair of eyes to draw if I want to just skip sleep. I would love to do that. I mean, I don't sleep much. I actually slept a decent amount today because I was feeling bad, or like, you know, I was feeling sick, so I slept for a pretty good amount. But usually on the regular, I probably average like a good 4 to 5 hours of sleep. I guess 3 to 5, depending on when. Will I try the inscription game that Scara was playing? Probably not. I would probably just watch Scara play it, honestly. He told me about it and he's like, you know, you should try it. I was like, I'll look at it, but I'm not very particular of it, I guess. So he liked it. I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, he recommended Inscription before it came out. Like, he told me about it a couple weeks ago. Or like, yeah. I don't know if I mean, he's been playing it on stream, right? So I feel like he's gotta like it or something if he's been constantly... Like, if he didn't like it, then I don't think he would continue playing it. So he must like it at least a bit to be continuously playing it. Has Scara played Slay the Spire? Yes, he has. There was a phase where, like, almost everyone was playing Slay the Spire a couple years ago, like when it initially came out, I guess. It was like Scar, Edison, Celine, me, a couple of friends that I knew. I don't know if Janet played it. I'm not sure, but I feel like a lot of people who are like into TFT also played Slay the Spire during that time. So I think they both came out at similar points in time, maybe. Yeah, I think Janet played, like if I recall correctly, I think she's played it as well. Yeah, about like 2-ish years ago. Nice sneeze. For TFT set 6, I don't think I'm going to be playing. I feel like I have a lot of games to play. Thank you guys, thank you. I hate feeling sick. It feels like my nose feels so much more clogged, and I feel like I have to sneeze again, but I think it's going away. I hate that feeling. I hate when a sneeze is about to come up and it just leaves. It's just like the most unsatisfying feeling ever. Someone's talking badly about you. I forgot what the number or like amount of times you sneeze means. I feel like I forgot what it was. It was like 1 sneeze is someone's talking good about you. I think 2 is someone's talking badly about you. I forgot about the third one. I don't know. 2 is good. I don't know what it is. I just know it like means something. Two means you will prosper. Okay, I always sneeze twice, so I mean I will prosper. I'm hoping that's true. Please. You made that up? Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like if you sneeze 3 times or something, someone loves you, or I don't remember what. I read it at some point in time. And I think my mom also told me too, like, the amount of time I sneeze, like, means this and that. It was so runny. Your family says 1 is good health, 2nd is money, and the last one is love. If you sneeze 4 times, I think you're sick at that point. Yeah, probably. Actually, no, I mean, some people just sneeze in large amounts at a time. Okay, how do I open this up? I'm opening up this podcast. I'm sorry, I'm so sneezy right now, or like sniffly, and I hate it. It's not allergies, it's just my nose. Sag, thank you for the 4 months legendary noodles. Thank you. Need some good soup. Yeah, maybe. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna blow my nose one last time. Hopefully I need will stop. Okay. Ow! 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 How long is this podcast? Ow! Just like hit my knee on my desk. All right.
This bitch baited you.
It's like 2 hours. Can you guys hear this well?
Thanks for watching.
Alright, quiet on set, please.
Yeah,
Quiet
shut the
on
fuck
set.
up.
No, I just get
See
more
that part in
perfect.
the intro. All right, everybody, welcome to the third episode of the OTV podcast.
Woo, best podcast in the world.
I'm joined by the very lovely, one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Pokimane. Welcome.
I'm gonna cry, and it's only 3 seconds into this episode. Sheesh.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Excited for your first podcast appearance?
Actually, yes. I've been very much looking forward to this. I wish that I planned more, but I did come very mentally ready to be as open of a guest as you could possibly desire.
Perfect. We're going to cover a lot of topics today.
Everything.
Talk about
Let's
everything.
get saucy. I know deep down you want to get saucy, and toast. I want to get saucy.
You want to get
know?
saucy. All right.
Okay, wait. Can we start with this, actually?
Okay.
Within OTV, I feel like me and you are like secretly the most controversial. Maybe less so secretive for me, more so for you. But for me, like, I love to talk. I genuinely love to share my opinion. I've maybe shied away from it, like, the first few years of streaming because, I mean, like, especially just growing up, it's a little bit hard to properly formulate your opinion in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you're the same in the
Even
sense
at
that
18 months, Kylie,
you
birthday
don't
to you.
want to shy away from more sensitive topics. And I personally appreciate that a lot. Like,
Yeah.
as a friend and as a viewer, I find it a lot more interesting than people who are like, zip.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day with where you are now, I would say you're kind of like in your, if you're kind of in your Miley Cyrus phase.
Ooh, I can
Like
see.
after Hannah Montana, after Fortnite.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Not
Just less
exactly like
drugs,
yeah,
but
less
yeah.
drugs and
Yeah,
going
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But you're in your like, you know, I kind of did everything. I'm chilling. I'm gonna say what I want now.
Yes, and
Congrats, toast.
I'm very much enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, personally, I don't really have a goal in particular that's like, I want to go crazy. And I seemed like a good girl, and now I want to
I'm a
be
bad bitch.
I mean, I've always been a bad bitch, but I think it's more so just, especially as someone who, like, grew up on the internet, like, not just on the internet, but in front of people, like, from 17 to 25, I streamed all of those, like, quite formative years. I think now I just want to care a bit more about the person that I want to be and a bit less about the person people want me to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm just in the process of figuring that out, experimenting, and prioritizing enjoying my life.
Yeah, when you were in your like Fortnite phase and you're
Mhm.
getting a lot of attention, a lot of young impressionable kids,
Yeah.
chats filled with like a lot of children talking.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt like you couldn't say or do anything that you kind of wanted to do?
Honestly, I think it was a bit less so that I felt I couldn't say things that I wanted to say. It was just like I was also so young that it was more so like fear and not being aware of like the stark difference between me and some of the audience like within Fortnite, let's say. And it was just like there was this little fire burning within me, this sentiment of I want to be a person that can eloquently voice my opinions, that can say what they want, that can stand for what they believe in. But when you're like 22 and all you've ever known is gaming and streaming, it's kind of hard to actually be that person.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was less so that I felt I had to filter myself and more so like I was still figuring out who the heck I was in the first place. And especially like when you have such an audience, it's easy to just be influenced by them and be like, oh, they're gearing me towards doing this and liking this and being this kind of a person. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess it was a little like not that self-aware.
Yeah. I remember when Fortnite would start popping off, like, what was that, 4 years ago now?
It's like 3.
I remember us talking and
Yeah.
you taking it pretty seriously. And when Valorant came out, you like really tried and you recently hit Immortal, which is pretty much as how many people are Immortal? Like
I think it's
point-
like 10K.
that's
I
like-
don't know the
but that's less
percentage.
than I would say that's 0.1%. Probably
around
even
there.
less.
Popper's immortal.
And was that a lot of practice, like off stream? A lot of what made you want to push for Immortal? Because when it comes to women in gaming, as it's always
Women
been
in gaming.
women, like high ranked women the topics, discussion around them is always very contentious, and
Yes.
you could easily just have been Pokemon, Plat Diamond Gamer. Wow, that's pretty good. But everyone was always gonna add, yeah, pretty good for a girl. Yeah, she's pretty good for a girl. But you actually made the effort to push for Immortal. Why is that?
Immortal's top 1.2%.
Oh, that's pretty
Interesting.
high.
Yeah. I think for starters, I really like the game. So that's step one. I've had numerous addictions in my past. League of Legends, Fortnite, now we're in Valorant. And when I really care about something, especially when I care about streaming something, I want to be like as good as I feel I can reasonably be. And especially this being my first FPS, I liked that I could just look up so many videos and find a very clear-cut way in order to get better. You just aim train a ton, you play the game a ton, you learn the game, and I enjoyed every part of that. Like, I genuinely learned I enjoyed just grinding my ass off in that game. I enjoyed every game that I played, for the most part. And I think it was seeing the progress that really felt good, especially progress in something that you are initially so clueless in. I remember, dude, I feel like anything anyone in OTV tells me, like I remember so specifically, there was one day we were playing customs. I don't know if you remember this. We were playing customs and I had just started aim training every single day. And I was like top of the leaderboard or whatever. I was like out fragging everyone within our friend group. And I remember you messaged me and you were like, when did you get so good at this game?
Yeah, because
And I was so flattered. Things like that motivated me to keep trying so much.
Yeah, because when we started playing, we were all kind of similar
Yeah.
level, right? But with you were a bit of a sweat.
Yes.
You were training, because you were teaching people about, on the Valorant maps, they give you a lot of indicator for where your head level is.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, just look at here and you know where the head's going to be. I'm like, why do you know
Crosshair
that?
placement.
Huh? What, you've been watching videos and playing with
I
pros?
sure have.
Yeah. And how has the public reaction to that been?
Honestly, when it comes to the public reaction to almost anything, I don't really see that much by design. I will generally see what my friends say on Twitter and stuff like that. And in that regard, it's been pretty positive, which I appreciate a lot. Obviously, there will always be little corners of the internet, random TikTok video here, TikTok comment there, YouTube comment. There will always be places for people to go, oh my God, Pokemon, she isn't even that good. I watched her play for 2 seconds and she missed a headshot. And it's those places will exist. But I feel like I'm overall pleasantly surprised. But I also think my standards are really freaking low. I remember prior to hitting Immortal, when I could tell I was really close to it, in my mind, I could already think up of all these excuses people are going to give and things that people will say. And I had no idea if I would post it and everybody would discredit me. But luckily for the majority, majority of the part, most people were really, really nice, especially friends, other content creators. So I feel like that helped legitimize my achievement, which meant a lot. But yeah, because I already knew so many people would likely tear it down anyways, I kind of precautioned myself by making sure that it feels like a personal win more so than I will only care if other people validate me about this. And I for sure freaking feel good about it. I stream my games in high elo, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I was really impressed when you hit it, because Immortal's pretty much one of the hardest things to do in Valorant, because everyone in Valorant is so
Sweaty.
very sweaty at the high level.
Okay, but let me tell you, I think the difference is everybody has pretty good aim in Immortal, High Diamond, Radiant. For starters, you can even tell stats-wise the difference between Immortal, top 1% and top 0.1%, that gap is huge. In my opinion, that's the difference between someone who's gold and someone who's diamond.
Wow.
It can be that much of a difference, or plat and diamond. It's even more than a tier, actually, I'd say. But I will say, people's aim is really freaking good, but they don't really care to learn the game that well. They don't always want to play for
Yeah,
time.
I've heard you complain about
So
people
I
triple
know
faking
that
in
I
your
can
games.
put in the efforts in non-natural born gaming ways, like strategically figuring out things that work, whether it's lineups. Like I can put in the nerd studying hours
Yeah.
in areas where other people won't, and luckily that gives me a leg up, sort of.
Oh, very cool. Speaking of saucy, spicy stuff, the Twitch earnings,
Yeah.
as you may have heard, came out, leaked everyone's income for the last 2 years. What rank were you?
39.
Yes, it is
39. That's lower than what a lot of people expected,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you tweeted out, go ahead and pull up that tweet.
Oh, we love a good spicy tweet.
I remember seeing this. I'm like, ooh, this is something I would tweet out if I was on Twitch. I'd be like, I mean, all these guys are like, because for me, I like to ride my high horses whenever I can. And in situations where I can't, I just like, I don't want to talk about that. But I
I know
would
what
tweet
you mean.
something similar. It's like, because people don't, the audience still don't really understand just how much money people make. And this is just Twitch income from subs and ads.
Yeah.
Those two things, not counting bounties or donations or sponsorships. It's like 2 of 10 pieces of pies, right? And you're pretty low, and you talked about how you captured a donation a year ago because for those who don't know, it was a year ago. There was just it was like the shitting on Pokimane train. And it was this YouTuber who's been just permanently banned from YouTube.
Because the things he said were so damn bad.
Yeah, it's like to get we've seen some real degens on YouTube. To get
I know. Sometimes I think about that time of my life, and I'm like, was that a fever dream?
Yeah, it's
bro?
like, oh
Did
no.
someone with like millions of subs really get banned off YouTube because they couldn't help like shit talking me and lying about me and just like trying to roast me 24/7? Like that's crazy.
It's crazy that it happened because I think like just a few months later, YouTube like streaming circle became pretty PC, like very like
Among Us went boom.
And attracted a lot of like younger kids who are more like, hey, that's not cool. Like they're very woke.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes too woke for their own good.
Can we table that so we can discuss that later? Because I do want to discuss that too.
Yeah, but my feeling is it's better to be too woke than not to allow like what happened to you to keep happening to people, right? I feel like what happened to you wouldn't really fly today because a lot of the Twitter culture would be like, hey, that's not very cool of you to say that.
Which honestly I appreciate a lot.
Yeah. But you tweeted like you captured donation because a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I said at least people can't over exaggerate me making millions off my viewers anymore. Basically because back then when it was like shitting on Pokey trend or whatever, a lot of people would say that there were like these tweets that were very clearly jokes where people are like, Pokey, I donated my entire rent to you and my wife is mad at me, but it's like it's random tweets on Twitter from like anime profiles. It's not a real person, but people would use that and then hold it against me and then also make jokes about me like having tons of simps and this and that, when in reality like most streamers my size or larger have like multipliers of my sub count. I don't really push for subs that much. 2, it ain't that deep, and 3, obviously all those tweets were just
Is
not
the
real.
S word not allowed?
Yeah,
I don't remember
it's
if that
weird 'cause
actually became a thing. Maybe it did.
You have the
I
people
don't know.
tweeting, "Oh, Pokey, my queen, I can't pay my rent this month because I donate to you." Like this guy's obviously being facetious,
You can't say the S
and
word?
he
Okay.
is
I mean, I
essentially
never-
like trying to make fun of how pathetic
it's sort
like
of a
people
thing.
who donate to streamers
Okay.
are. Like he is kind of mocking your audience.
Swag.
So
Yeah,
he's like one of the people who
swag.
want to like insult you. But then you have the other people who then take what that person is
yeah,
saying
take it
as
in a
real and saying,
derogatory way.
wow, Pokimane made this guy miss his rent. She's the terrible person. So these two people are in the same group and they're like,
feel like
oh
I don't-
no,
I don't hear people
this
say
guy's a
that
simp
anyway,
and
though.
I'm just trying to save his life by keeping him from donating his money to you, when in reality, neither of these people are actually supporting you in the
And
first
I'm
place.
sitting at home like,
Yeah, like they came up with a straw man themselves and said, look what damage you're doing to this person. And I think your
Oh, some
average
good food.
supporter, like someone who donates to your stream, is just like, oh, no, I just gave her $5 and she read my message. That was it.
I just memed in her donos and then I went home.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just watched their stream and that's it. And so you tweeted this out saying like, hey, here's proof that I don't actually get that much money from subs and donations because I don't actively push for it. Because, like I said, you're kind of in your Miley Cyrus phase where you kind of made your money, you made an impact. You don't need to be out there saying like, 100 subs, guys, 100 subs.
Please.
You're just chilling.
Yeah.
So you tweeted this out because you don't want those narratives going around.
Yeah,
How was the reaction to this tweet from streamers and like?
I am glad. Like, I feel like if I tweeted something like this a year ago, like, it just wouldn't fly. Like, I almost would feel like I'm not allowed to. But I'm glad that now people's reaction is like, well, I feel like people needed definitive proof before believing me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they could have just taken my word a year ago. But I think overall the reaction is like, yeah, you know what? You're right. You did cap your donos. We can see the facts of how much you make. And there's really just no negotiating what I've said because there's evidence to it. So I'm sure there probably were some salty people, but again, I just like, if I read every comment, my brain's gonna boom, so I just don't. Yeah, overall, I'd say positive, which I like, dude. Being able to tweet spicy and not getting shit for it.
But yeah, the Twitch leak
off.
itself was kind of crazy, and
Yeah. What did you think about it?
well, I remember making a video about Twitch income like 2 years ago, saying, guys, we make a lot of money. We get paid $10,000 an hour for sponsorships. Like that's
Yeah. And people don't even see that. I
Yeah.
think that would be so interesting for others to see. The numbers of like exclusive deals, especially for those like Ninja or Shrouds deals, and like sponsorship numbers. I think sponsorship numbers will just like blow people's.
sponsorship
brains.
numbers are the fun, interesting.
It's almost
ones.
like RNG, you know?
Yeah, like what's the highest? We can get into some numbers here. Have you heard of like really, really high figure deals, like one-offs, long terms? I'm trying to think.
Oh my god. Okay, not too long ago, like a few months ago, I was offered to do this down horrendous deal. Picture this. Like, it's a mobile game. Of
Yeah.
For the
course.
sub with Prime GT Cruise mobile
You
games.
have to stream it, of course, on numerous occasions for short amounts of time, like maybe an hour or two, but numerous occasions. And the mobile game has to be played on, like, let's say a phone or an iPad or whatever. Like, just the thing that you would, like, not usually do.
Yeah.
And I had to go elsewhere for it. And it was just like, it felt like the most inauthentic thing ever. But it was like 6 figures plus.
Oh my
Like
God.
6 figures, and the figure doesn't start with a 1. You know what I'm saying? And
That is
I had to turn it
insane.
down because like I couldn't. Like I could tell it was the kind of thing that like during my soul would just evaporate from the inauthenticity. And I feel like we're all pretty lucky that we're at a point where like our brand has like pretty good value. And I feel like sometimes when viewers see you do things that are so disingenuous, like if they see you take a sponsor for something that you just shout out, they're like, get that bag.
Yeah.
But if you're like out there doing things that are just like so off brand,
Raid
for
Shadow.
money,
I
it
would
just
never do
doesn't
Raid
feel right,
Shadow
so.
Legends streams.
Yeah, it sounds
No
weird
matter
'cause
how
you
much
have
they
to
would ever
weigh the
pay me, I
costs
would
and
never.
benefits, 'cause the benefit is 6-figure deal, go somewhere and play some mobile games for a few hours, like a couple of times, or a few times over the course of a few months, and you turn that down.
Never
and a
say
lot of
never.
people
No,
would be
I
like,
mean,
why?
I can't believe,
Like,
yeah.
why would
I've
you
been
do
asked
that?
to
Like,
do
I would
Raid
love
Shadow
for
Legends
that.
stream, like, nope.
It's like, what would be
I
the
literally will
tangible
never
impact of it? It's
do
hard to
a Raid
quantify.
Shadow
Like,
Legends stream
is my
ever.
audience really gonna be like, oh,
I've
you
burned that bridge.
took a
I already
mobile deal? Well, I'm
talked
not
about it
gonna
on
watch you.
stream,
But
saying that I would never.
it does
Play
Maybe we
Raid
should
Shadow
break it down
Legends.
for people because I
Is it
don't
good? I
want
don't
to
know,
seem
I'm
like
just- I don't like
ungrateful
mobile
for having
games
feels like that.
either.
It's amazing, but if anything, what I really want to say is I would rather turn down that money than do something that just feels like extremely inauthentic and sell something to my audience that doesn't feel like something I would genuinely ever do. Whether it's playing that game, whether it's what I'm playing on, whether it's really all of it. So I think you probably consider this sometimes too. It's like you also don't want to play a game that like you don't know that well. You're gonna be like fumbling around on stream. The content will be dry, bro. Like
yeah. No, yeah, I've done a few
Maple
of those.
Story M gets a pass because
And
it's
Same.
Maple
I
Story.
know-
And that's what I grew
Yeah,
up with.
it's like, oh god, what
But
am I, like,
anything
what
else
am I
I would-
doing right now?
I
Like,
don't
I don't
mobile
play this
games.
game. I don't care about it, but they offer like a large sum of money. Is the impact gonna be that noticeable? And it's hard. It's hard to tell. It's like seeing a B-list celebrity do car of insurance
my-
commercials.
or seeing celebrities do cameos.
Oh,
No,
like
I like
that
Scar's
website
Yeah,
episode, yeah.
cameo.
where you pay
The
them
past
like
few days.
$100 to say anything. I'm like, bro, 100 like you feel like your words are only worth $100 for anything? That's crazy to me. I feel like things like that lead
Wait a
to
minute.
like brand dissolution.
my
So there's two,
things on.
in my opinion, there's like two sides of it. There's like the emotional, personal. Would you hate what you're doing? Would you not enjoy yourself? Blah blah blah. And then there's also the logical side to taking deals like that, which is like the benefits and cons to your brand. And I feel like things like that are a massive con to your brand. Like if you stream mobile games for money like 6 times within even like a month of a period, and that's not something you usually do, as a larger streamer, I think a decent part of your fan base would just like, whether they say it or not, like they won't see you as highly as they used to.
Yeah, that's what I
And
think.
that's something that is like not quantifiable, but you have to be very aware of it.
Yeah, like what you mentioned about Cameo. Like when I see celebrities on Cameo, like,
Bruh.
hey bro, can we
No
can we just check Cameo real quick and see what celebrities are on there?
There's that one guy on Shark Tank.
Kevin O'Leary?
I think so. And people just pay him to promo their products. But it's like, if you're a businessman, shouldn't you feel like your word is worth a lot?
Yeah, I feel like if you're on Cameo,
Like, I feel like you need some level of integrity to be like, maybe I should check what I'm vouching for.
yeah, like your brand will.
Boss
When
baby.
I see someone on Cameo,
What
like
the
I feel
heck?
like their brand gets, like you mentioned, diluted a little bit.
I agree. Because when you
Why
can
is
get someone
Boss
to like
baby
say
on
anything,
there?
at some point, even that value wears off. Whether it's like shock value or interesting or entertainment or whatever.
Yeah.
You can do live video calls too.
Oh, you can talk to the guy from The Office, Kevin. The most common I've
What the heck? This
used
is
for
my
these
first
I've
time
seen
actually
is
hearing about
bigger
this.
YouTubers talking to celebrities and then putting on their YouTube channel.
I feel like
forward
that's
this
worth
up
the YouTube
real
That's
quick.
like
money.
worth way
Yeah.
more than $100 you paid a celebrity.
Yeah, you'll make more in
I
AdSense
don't know
for
about
sure.
Cameo actually.
Yeah.
This is my first time hearing
But
about it.
that's just part of being.
Is that a nipple? Oh my god, isn't she from The Office
Yeah.
It's
too?
censored.
Wait, why would that be the photo?
I'm going to the actor portion.
I don't recognize any of these
Same.
actors.
But if you want to type in Kevin O'Leary, I'm pretty sure he's on this.
Oh, Percy from Harry Potter.
Oh God, is that what he's been up to?
I will say it probably makes sense to do Cameo for a lot of people, whether it's voice actors, like certain actors, like up and coming potentially. But yeah, you have to consider the brand hit.
Yeah, being an actor is. I can imagine it to be very stressful.
In your future? Is that really something you'd want to do?
Welcome to the Shang-Chi portion of
Of
the podcast. The
We
dedicated.
need one, we need one of these in every podcast. Thank you for listening.
So no progress update since the last 3 weeks we've been talking about this. I always thought it would be more fun to like be behind the camera for a bit and then do some stuff in front of the camera, because I think you learn way more like seeing how other people do it. It's like, oh, they did it like this, they did it like this. It's kind of how I started in streaming. It's like you look at what other people do
Yeah.
and you just see what you can do better, try and recreate it. So yeah, that's your Shang-Chi update of the week for this podcast.
No, but what
That's very
interests you so
brave.
much in the idea of being in Shang-Chi?
Just mainstream appeal. I think being a streamer, like a gaming streamer, it's like two roads. You can always be a gaming streamer. I can be a gaming streamer forever and like play the new game, try and get on the meta, make cool things happen. But what's your biggest impact, right? Like the biggest impact a gamer has had would be Ninja. And he you know
He went Omega.
he went
mainstream.
big, got on Ellen, played Fortnite, huge
Put gamers on the board. We are people.
yeah, made a lot of money, and now kind of paved the way for those platform deals. Honestly, thank you,
Yes,
Ninja.
thank you. I feel like he deserves a cut
Yeah,
of all of our deals.
like Ninja's manager was really like smart about what he did, and kind of like set all of us up. It's like, well, Ninja did it, so where's my giant bag of money?
Been out for a
And now
very
he's just
long
kind of
time,
coasting,
actually.
right? But having a big impact like that is cool. But a Robert Downey Jr., a Brad Pitt, or Leonardo DiCaprio, like those guys' impact is huge. Or even directors like Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, like household names. And
You want to be a household name.
yeah.
What makes you not want to do it through gaming? Just the smaller likelihood of it occurring that way in comparison to more traditional things like acting?
Yeah, I think it came out
and
in
also gaming is
September.
so niche still. Like XQC, I would say, is the biggest Twitch streamer when it comes to English speaking language. But I would say he not a lot of people would know him, right? If you're in
Yeah.
gaming, you would know him, but a lot of people still aren't in gaming. And
Yep.
maybe gaming reaches a point one day where it's like synonymous with television and movies. That would be very nice, but
But we're still far from there.
yeah. And at the end of the day, do you want to game forever, right?
My wrists hurt sometimes.
Yeah. So I feel like Hollywood, television, movies is just more fun, or just more long form YouTube
You know,
videos.
I really wonder, because from my perspective, the flip side to it is, yeah, there are all those upsides, but the downsides is like lack of creative control whatsoever.
Yeah.
You're at a producer and editors,
Mercy.
mercy entirely. And I feel like the business must be very different, but have a lot of its own issues, I guess you could say. So I guess at least from my perspective, I always felt like acting could be cool, but I feel like I don't have the chops for it. And I mean, type A, I just like being in control. So either way, I wholeheartedly vouch for you to be in Shang-Chi too, if anyone's listening.
You can be like Tom Cruise. You know what he does? So for all of his movies, he is like the top executive producer. So the reason he's still able to do stunts and stuff, because normally director will be like, oh, big stunt where you could kill yourself, you're not allowed to. One time a director told him that, and he was like, I'll just get a new director. You can go.
Oh
So, like,
my
he's
god, having
like-
that kind of power
Yeah.
is the goal. Damn. Wait, what if to put you on the board for Shang-Chi 2, we produce our own thing,
A
you know?
movie.
Like a short. Maybe a
short.
movie's a bit much, but a short. I feel like we could do it. We could make it sick.
Do you think it will take? Because I've thought about something like that. Do you think the audience would just be so taken back? It's like, no, that's Disguised Toast. That's Pokemon. That's Lily Peachy. I cannot cannot be immersed.
But we would have to act our butts off. Like, it would have to be so mind-blowing that we force them to be immersed. Or we all change the way we look drastically. I'll go bald.
A lot of YouTubers have tried to go mainstream. I like TikTokers. I saw Addison Rae. What's her name?
Yeah.
Had her own movie, and
Did
then
you watch?
I watched a movie recap of it.
Me too!
Because I don't feel like
also
I
only
would
watched
be
a
able
movie
to-
recap.
poster.
Don't think I'm the target audience, I'll be honest. I guess
Yeah.
maybe I am, but younger.
Yeah, younger Addison Rae fans. I feel like a lot of these influencer movies are just for their fans, and no one else would really want to watch it.
You worked on that movie. It was so
Yeah.
bad. Oh
I
god.
think it's interesting.
I don't know if I'm allowed
like,
to tell
if
you-
you were her,
Tell
do you
you
think
guys
that's a good
this. I mean, it's not like I took the deal, but like,
move? Because you know, there's that natural thought of like, this sequence of events is sick. I pop off on TikTok and then I'm in a
I was,
movie and
like,
I'm an actress
I was
now, and it's like even more
asked, like,
mainstream,
if I was
more attention, more
interested in being in a
celebrity
movie.
status, right?
Yeah.
But
And
also, like,
like the cast.
if you come from TikTok,
I
chances
like
are you're not, like,
recognize this guy
insane
from like
Yeah.
at acting.
Vine and like the cast
and
is
then
just like a
perhaps,
bunch of like
you know,
influencers.
the
I was like,
results, the ratings,
no,
the
there's
actual
and like
movie or TV show
the
won't be that
synopsis of
great.
the movie
Yeah, I
was
kinda
so
feel
like
it actually puts a
super
stain on your
cringe.
reputation of like an
it was
influencer who
so
tried
as a movie come
too
out. I
hard
don't
and
think
too
like it's
fast,
in
you feel like,
probably
I'm
like
an actor
production
now,
or
right?
something.
and Logan
I
Paul
don't
kind of went through
remember
it.
the
You know,
cast,
this
but
movie with
it was
Shane
just, like, a
Dawson
bunch
years
of-
ago as well.
I didn't
I
hear
was
about
like,
that actually.
Paris
no.
Hilton, like just a lot of people. Who
I need to go
aren't
find the
actors.
names. Of
I feel like
later
the ones
on.
who are successful. I feel like The Rock is a great example. He was a
Yes.
wrestler, and he
Yeah.
was in an entertainment role, like he was
Mhm.
playing it up, but he wasn't like acting, right? He
Mhm.
was a wrestler
Because
who was
my-
entertaining, and he started
I
as
was asked,
just
and
like
then I was like,
side
I'm not gonna
roles
take the deal, but I'm
and
curious
slowly
as to
made a
like
name for
what
himself.
I think that is really the
what
best way to do
they
it. And make
like
sure
what
that every
they
time
would
like you
do for me.
slightly
So I asked, and they're like,
transition,
okay,
that
and
you
then
do
I
it
was
well.
Yeah.
just like this is so
and then, like,
weird.
slowly build upon that.
Yeah.
Kind of like a lot of YouTubers or TikTokers and music careers. It's like it's so hard for me to think of anyone that's done it super well aside from Bella.
Yeah.
But like her music, the video, all of it was really well done.
Yeah.
So I think it's only a good move if the end product is genuinely that good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it always sounds like a good move, especially from the creator's perspective. You're like, you want me to do what? Heck yeah.
Have you been approached for music and movies, films, TV?
I've been approached for like acting roles here and there, not like big ones,
Mhm.
but like things. I'm always like, I don't act, but I'll show up as myself if you want me to do that. So I feel like I'm more of like a cameo type of gal, or if something like specifically for some reason made sense for me. But the way that I see it, whether it's acting, music, or really any other skill, I feel like I have so much respect for professionals that do that, that I wouldn't go into it unless like I really took the time to master that skill somehow. I'm not gonna do it just for like some extra attention or, you know, some like status that it
Yeah.
might give me. I just don't think it's worth it.
Because you kind of only have a one chance at a good first impression,
That's
right?
true,
and you
yeah.
don't want it to be like Pokimane the movie and you're the main
I have
character.
an IMDb, no fucking way. Sorry, Broden's doing all this stuff on the screen. I'm looking like a toast. Wow, that's me.
Oh, what's
And my image is just free guy.
what's Pokey's IMDb credits? Actress.
Better known as Pokimane. That's me, man. Oh my god, look, known for offline TV.
Known for offline TV, known for Michael Reeves.
I'm known for Michael Reeves. I made him.
I don't know who put these offline TV ones up,
Dude, that's sick.
but someone put like some of our big production ones up on IMDb, and like I guess they count as like TV or like web TV.
We're legit. We're legit as
Yeah, but you would never do something like off the bat, Pokimane the movie, or like starring your own
I
movie.
am so afraid of anything that could remotely come off as cringy.
Oh,
So-
it would probably be
Yes,
cringy.
exactly. So it has to be the perfect fit for me to really say yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys win in 3 nominations?
Hell yeah, I did. Oh.
Nominated
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
Shorty Award Twitch Streamer of the Year.
Yeah, Pog. A lot of streamer stuffs. But all that is like, fans, please vote. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, that's so cool. I didn't even know they put these up on IMDb, which I don't know why, but
There's a question on here.
Mhm.
What is a big fear? Do you have insecurities, Pokimane?
yeah, of course. What?
Huh?
Thanks for
All
the
human
10 months,
beings have
Tony. I'm a big
insecurities, of
fan,
course.
Just like this
Wait,
thing.
Number one
Jokes on you.
female
I don't
Twitch streamer
have fans
Pokimane
on
has
my ceilings.
insecurities?
So what are you talking
Really?
about?
Yeah, duh. Legit. Have you met anyone with no insecurities? I'd be fascinated. I'd be like poking at them. Are you?
No, I think every one of them has insecurities, but some people just
Won't
You know,
admit
in
it
my
to
PC,
themselves.
I do have a fan in my
they're
PC.
good at hiding it, or they just like always seem so confident, and you just assume, wow,
I think that's fine. I think you can reach a level of confidence while still like having insecurities. I've just like kind of accepted them.
what are you insecure about?
When you've been shat on for like everything, you're just like, it's all the same, you know? Like I could change almost anything about myself and people would just find something else to be upset about. So when I almost like reverse engineer that, I'm like, the most time efficient thing to do is to just accept everything about myself. As girls, it's like anything can kind of be better. Like you could lose weight, your stomach could be flatter, your butt could be bigger, your chest could be bigger, your nose could be smaller and flatter, your face could be more V, your lips could be. It's like, you know, like it's never gonna run out. But when
is
you start
true.
focusing on those things, I feel like you are training your brain in a way that will only hurt you later. So, yeah.
Yeah, those who don't know, big streamers also have a lot of insecurities
Oh, yeah,
and
plenty.
problems and stress and
Every
anxiety.
big
it's a
streamer,
thing,
if
especially in
you're-
Korea, like
Even above like a 2K, probably
Having,
2K, Andy, you're insecure about your viewer count. Like, for freaking sure. I actually think sometimes the bigger streamer you are, the more insecure you are about your viewer count. And it almost like pains me to hear that from other people that I feel are like doing so much and are really great and successful, because I feel like it's almost like inadequacy is what's driving them, which
don't people get surgery?
Isn't a very, like,
people get
fulfilling
surgery to like make
thing to
their
chase,
like
I guess.
face shape different.
A
Like their
lot
jaw
of people in our
slimmer,
friend group
especially
has
in Korea,
experienced
it's
like
like
a
really
boom
popular.
in
or-
popularity
I mean, I guess not only
over
in
the
Korea,
last
but
year, but
I
you
definitely
know,
do
since
know
Among Us
that
is
it
gone,
is
a lot of
popular in Korea.
I would say everyone's viewership
Like,
has been
the
trending
beauty standard
down
is,
the
like, you
last
know,
4
like,
months, and
very slim face.
quite a few of them aren't
like tall
taking it
nose,
so well,
big
like,
eyes.
in terms of they get really stressed now. They have a
Yeah.
lot of
I
anxiety.
feel
Like,
like
I know one that
well,
has
like,
to like
Western standards
take some
they like
edibles at night to
big
help them
features, like
sleep
big
because
lips,
they are
or like
they're
fuller
actually
lips.
losing
Like I
sleep
feel like
Really?
Korea doesn't really
from-
care
Thinking
about
about
that. They
it?
just
yeah, like
care
their
about, like, the
success and like
overall
how they're gonna
face.
become irrelevant, and it's like really sad to hear.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they've had a taste of like success, and because everything's going down, they just think, oh, it's
This
over
is
for
the
me.
end, yeah.
Even though
Well, I
their
mean,
current viewership is still
face
much
shape is
higher
just, like,
than where they were
genetics
1 year
as
ago.
well.
Not just that, but like probably
I know
more
I'll
than
never
enough
have
to
a face
like,
shape like that because
satisfy
mine's
being
more like
full-time,
square
being financially
or like
stable.
round.
I think in that regard, I'm really, really
Whatever. I would
lucky because
Not like,
I've been
have you
streaming
guys
so long,
seen
I've
what
seen
jaw
so many
surgery
ups
looks
and
like?
downs,
That's scary.
and I
would
don't
never.
ever have my viewer count
Spooky.
up. So even if I'm aware of like the way things
Double
are
eyelids
generally
are super
trending,
common.
I think I'm
They're even
God
given
bless.
as like
Thank you.
graduation.
I think I am like
gifts.
really at a point
Like,
where I'm
when
much
People,
more
like,
desensitized
graduate
to it
from
than most
school,
people.
They're like, okay, you can
That's
get
why,
some
like,
surgery.
sometimes people will come to me and they'll be like, I'm doing everything that I can. I'm trying new things. I'm streaming more, and somehow, like, my
People get
viewership is still
like double
down.
eyelids
And the
because a
thing
lot of
that
people just have like
streamers need to accept is like
they don't have like
sometimes
an eyelid crease
positive
or like
or
double
negative
eyelids. Like it
external
opens up your eyes more,
circumstances
basically
impact
makes your
your
eyes look
viewership,
bigger.
and you can't
so.
do anything about it. Could we have predicted Among Us and it making all of our viewership increase? No. Can we predict its
There's
departure
tape, but
and
it's not
school
permanent,
returning and this
so,
and that,
I mean,
and
people
therefore less
who-
overall
it's definitely
traffic on the
meticulous
website,
if you
and that
will
also
put the
impacting
tape
our
on
numbers?
every day,
No, like
so I
there's
guess
just
that's why
nothing you can
people
do about
opt
it.
for
So you might as well just be happy, stream
surgery
shit you
if
like,
they
have a
like
good
the look
time,
of it.
and find other goals
Why do people
aside
do
from ones
surgery
that
on their
aren't
faces?
fully in
It's
your
because
control.
they're unhappy with how
Yeah,
they look, or they wish they looked
It's hard.
differently.
It is
so,
hard.
I mean,
One thing I want to talk to
obviously
you
it's
about
to
because
them and how they view themselves.
I feel like you're one of the few
But
people
also, I mean, like,
who's not afraid to talk about
it's
this.
very much more apparent in
friendship
Korea because I mean the beauty standards are like really
Yeah.
harsh.
And I
so.
brought it up to Michael, but Michael, I thought
Michael's
he stays out
detached
of
enough.
it
Yes.
because of
God, I'm so jealous of him.
because like he sees the shit we go through. And it's like, what the fuck? It's like what? It's like a It's weird to see friends who are competitors in streaming
thing
who
that
are
scares
nice to
me
each
about
other, but
surgery is,
also
like, you know, it's irreversible. So like if
this
something messes
kinda
up,
drama
like
that
the
switches
idea of
between
it
multiple
scares
people
me
at
'cause
any
it's
given
like,
time.
and then have
it goes
you
wrong,
navigate
then
how
you're gonna
you
be really
interact with
unhappy, and
people,
Yeah.
they can't.
whether
They
it's
could try to fix
professional,
it,
whether
but
it's
it's not like you
business
can go back
related,
to
like
what you
all
used
of
to
that
look like.
is a lot.
Yeah. So you want to touch on what is it like? What's a friendship like as a streamer? Just give them some context.
You need to define. Everybody defines that differently, and it's tough because like I can say I'm like friends with a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also like for me personally, there's a level of friendship where like you're a good friend. In that regard, like the way that I see
You said it
friendship
with Prime
is the way that I've been lucky enough
orangutan
to
with the
have
heat.
it. Good friends, like they care about you, they check up on you, they see how you're doing, they'll be there for you when you need someone. And there's just like kind of these levels of expectation that you cannot hold for someone just because they stream with you, or just because they'll play games with you, or just because people on the internet think you guys should get along.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been, you know, a thing to learn. And it's also difficult because there are some people that you can like plenty and want to be closer with, but if they just don't view friendship in the same way that you do, then you can't be that close to them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That is true.
Yeah.
and having like a business,
Thank you so much for
like,
the raid,
OTV
Pink Floyd.
network,
Thank you. I hope
it's
you had a
it's
wonderful
exploded
stream.
so much over the
So
last
much.
year. At this point, it's almost like we're in the business of friendships, which is very, very complicated. Like, where do you draw the line? So I think
Sorry,
I've
we're
kind of
watching
gotten
a
to the point
podcast.
where
I'm not really
I'm very
doing much.
comfortable
I
with
mean,
the
I'm
people
just
that are like
watching.
closest to me. And then
I'm
aside from
sick,
that, like
so
I
I'm
just
trying to
try to
not
treat
talk
people as well as
as
I
much
can,
'cause my
but like
throat really
expect
hurts.
nothing from them
Mm-hmm.
to not complicate things.
Yeah. OTV being essentially a business of friendship is very. It makes things very difficult because everyone's on different wavelengths. Some people, I think you do a good job of separating like business decisions and friendship decisions, but like for example, Lily is more like one and the same, right?
Yeah.
I'm friends with you, that
yeah.
means I want to do business with you. I'm not friends with you, I
Mhm.
don't want to do business with you, right? And navigating is hard because some people just let business decisions spill over. But when you live together, you play games together,
Complication.
it's complicated. So right now, like even in our friend group, behind the scenes, there's a lot of like just some uncomfortableness going on, and it kind of sucks. And everyone don't really know what to do, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
I think what's also difficult is like everybody comes from very different walks of life.
Yeah.
And oftentimes when they have issues, I think it's harder for them to communicate it in this circumstance than in almost any other one. Like, can you imagine if you feel like you are a smaller streamer and you feel like a larger streamer disrespected you, or maybe you have an issue with something that they're doing, or something that they're doing makes you uncomfortable? You have to consider that dynamic from like a work perspective prior to even communicating how you feel. And I mean, I can assume, like, I can imagine something like that occurring in like a work or corporate environment, but rarely are you also friends and in the same friend circle in
Yeah.
that environment. And I think that's what kind of makes me the most sad about it all. I wish people were just more open about the things that they felt, as opposed to like, yeah, just like sharing with their friends, and things always go around. So, yeah, it's complicated to navigate. How do you feel about it though? Because I feel like you are like just very
I watched
straightforward.
Scar one on my own time.
And I
I
assume
wish
by
I saved
design
it
because
for
you just don't
stream
want
actually,
to be
'cause
involved.
I think
in,
it's a
like,
really good one.
drama or issues. Like, you're very clear with like the expectations people can have of you, and you are very, what's the word, like fair, like what, Broden, what's the word when you ask someone for their opinion and they'll give like a very reasonable response? Not biased, something like that.
Unbiased sounds right.
Oh, thank you.
Unbiased opinion, yeah.
I don't know if there's another word you can think of. But whenever I'm like, I need an objective perspective, I go to Toast and I tell them the whole thing. And I'm like, what's going on here? And you're just like very reasonable in
Yeah,
your
the
take.
title of Scar's
Yeah.
podcast.
Impartial, neutral.
Impartial. Yeah.
I actually messaged Scar. I was like,
I think-
I took a screenshot of it. I was like, very
mediate pretty
interesting
often
title you
between
guys got
people,
going on
because
here.
I try and be as impartial
Scar is
as
surprised. What do you mean
possible. Like,
surprisingly mature? Scar has been
um,
mature. I feel
we've
like
had like
even when I watched him
cancellations
as a
over the
streamer,
last
like
4 or
back
5
when
years of our
League
careers,
first
and
became a thing and like League streamers
these
were, I feel like he's
some of
just
these people
very
who are like getting canceled will still like ask,
well
hey,
put
toast,
together
what
and
should
like
I do? And I would
the way he acts
give
is
them
just very
advice that I
calm.
think is best for them, that sometimes will go against what's best for like some of my friends, because at the end of the day, it's like you gotta do what's best for you, right? I don't want to tell you something that's gonna work against you just because I want someone else who I like more benefit from it.
But what if what's best for you is not to tell them that? Because then if the other person knows, then they will hold that against you. You know? Like, these are the
It's
complications.
like, you gave good advice to my enemy. Like, well, I also don't want to lie to the person and give them bad advice. So
I feel like we wind up in these situations a lot where it's a little bit like pick and choose as soon as there is an issue or conflict. So,
but yeah, it's because I'm pretty biased in my.
I mean, he
from time
talked
to
about
time.
his past.
Like when it comes, like I have to make a decision.
If you guys
I
have
would
the time, you
tend
guys
to
should
side with the
definitely
people
watch
I
the
personally like.
podcast
Like the
that
more
Scar
even
did.
they are wrong, and it has happened before.
It's
But I always try and be as upfront as I can. It's like, look, I'm making this decision, and the reason is I like this person.
yes, no, Toast will straight up say, I've seen this on numerous occasions. And it's funny because, like, you are known as this very, like, logical, blunt, monotone guy a lot of the time. And you do have all those qualities. You're really witty. But there is also a part of you that once you like someone, you stand by that quite a lot, which I like a lot. And when you see that peer through, sometimes in your mind, you're like, this doesn't make sense. But you're also just so straightforward about it. You're like, I am making this decision to be illogical because I like you. It's cute.
Yeah, but it's I try and stay out of it. Like I have these phases where I hate everyone in our friend group.
For me, it's less so hate, and I will just be like, I would like to run away to Canada.
Yeah.
Because to me, Canada's like this land of family and love and rainbows, and no problems will ever happen there. And when things get complicated here, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Bye. I mean, I've done that a couple of times where it's like, okay, this is getting too much. I'm going back to Canada for 2 months. And then people start messaging me and say, hey, you know, this thing happened, what do I do? And then I feel like, okay, I need to go back to the States because... but what I've learned is everyone is nice and they ultimately are good people. But you have... Well, our friend group has ballooned to like 50 individuals, all streamers, all
It's just
experiencing.
impossible to manage.
Yeah, and there are times where it's just like a decision has to be made and someone's going to be unhappy, right? And what do you do then?
It's tough.
I try to stay out of it, but I swear to God, you leave some of them alone and they start self-destructing sometimes as well. Broden, what do you see? You know, because Broden.
Oh yeah.
Broden, you're the camera guy. I bet you see like, wow, this is weird.
Shit, bro.
Some of the hardest stuff is like inviting guests to offline shoots because there's like, we have such a big friend group, but then it's like,
how do you pick and choose? Oh wait, has it ever gotten back to you that someone has like felt left out?
Yeah.
Have they told you directly, hey, Broden, what the hell, man?
Ooh, I don't think it's ever been like a direct thing. I think it's always been someone else being like, hey, I heard like they were kind of sad they couldn't come.
Oh
like,
my god, I wish there was a camera on your face right now. He's like, I heard that like it was kind of sad.
Yeah, juggling that is like, I don't know. Well, the other part of it is I try to like then come up with videos where like they'll shine. That way it's like, okay, when they do come in, like they have a great
They'll
spotlight.
feel good. That's so nice of you.
Because other times, like sometimes a certain person is not right for the right role. It's kind of like casting in movies. It'd be like, let's hold off. Like they'll be better in this one, that kind of thing. But yeah, like from watching the friend group thing, I don't know how you do it. Yeah, it's.
I mean,
really
you're kind of
weird.
in it. How do you do it?
I mean, I like Michael. I kind of stay a little detached too. Like,
I do see that.
yeah.
Damn.
Broden's a nice person.
Like, what if we just had normie friends? Like, can we just pick up a bunch of normies?
Oh no!
Would that be
What
interesting?
happens is they see us streaming and then they appear on our streams and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's kind of funny, huh? Maybe he should start streaming." Yeah, working at
No. If we have normie friends, we know to draw that boundary now. Nobody on the stream. Love you, but you stay on that side of the camera.
But yeah, it's. I was talking to Ludwig about this, and he has a group of friends that he does
Features
content
and
with.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and all of them are pretty like, yeah, I don't want to stream. I just want to like help Ludwig with his shit. Like, I just want to be like production. Or
Okay, but what
everything.
if they got popular in Among Us?
Yeah, it's like what if one day one of them just gets a lot of attention
Yeah.
and you want to be a good friend? It's like, yo, go for it. Like, I'll host you.
Mhm.
But then now there's a vacant role that they have to fill, and what if that person gets interested?
And then
in
also
streaming?
your friendship becomes more complicated.
Yeah, because
For whatever business related reasons.
streaming, I feel like it's a job that a lot of people would want to do, but it's not something you actively pursue. If it falls into, it's like acting. I think.
If you're just offered to act along Brad
Yeah.
Pitt, you're not gonna say no.
It's like, well, I've never acted, so I'm not comfortable. You'd be like, yeah, no, yeah, I'll give it a if you want me, I'll do
Actually,
it.
it's even like a way better example than acting, because acting, again, you would have to like be very skillful at that.
Mhm.
Streaming, people just have to like you.
Yeah.
So if you already know people like you and people will watch you, for whatever reasons you got to that point, it is very hard to turn down.
Yeah, it's like, why would I work my 9 to 5 like programming job when
I could not.
I could not? I can play
Thanks
games
to
with
my lovely
friends.
friend Ludwig, who has given me a career in streaming.
So, yeah, making friends in this scene has always been a little difficult. Like, people always say, "Oh, is it because of Cloud Chaser?" Like that's the obvious part of it.
Yeah.
It's just when you
more
do
than
find
that.
people you do vibe with and you want to support them, but they become a streamer and the relationship gets complicated. It's, yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like, I mean, almost in any relationship, expectations and communication. I feel like everybody has different expectations of people, and then they don't communicate when they're hurt. They don't really communicate what bothers them, and that just causes for so many issues to snowball.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll get better with it in time.
I don't know, man. Our friend group's pretty non-competition. Like, even with Broden's
Yeah.
example, it's like no one ever told him, "Hey, Broden, I kind of want to be in the next year." It's like Broden hears from someone who heard that person is sad.
Does
And-
that happen to you often? Like, do you hear a lot about this?
Okay, for
Wow,
Among
that
Us.
often?
Okay, for Among Us, I'm gonna give an example involving you. You felt, I remember you messaged me because you felt a little sad that you were left out one of the lobbies.
Yeah.
And you were the only person who's ever messaged me
I'm
directly.
such a confrontational Andy. But wait, can I also set the record straight on that? Like, in my mind, I have like people that I prioritize. And I think at that point, you were like, I am going to include you because you're Among Us, dude. And also, you're like Toast, my friend of so many years. And sometimes when I feel like that's not reciprocated, that's when I'll be like, hey, I feel this way. Is there a reason why? Like, did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Like, am I being bothersome in the game? Do you not want to play with me? Like, I'd rather just talk to you behind the scenes. But again, I'm like confrontational Andy. And again, what I've learned is nobody else is like that. Why? Let's talk about our feelings. Don't just tell your friend, tell the person.
But yeah, you were, I think, the only person who ever messaged me like, "Hey, is there a reason?"
yeah.
Or it was just like the plans get made. But I've heard from so many other people.
Put a number on it. Even like estimated
in
number on it.
total?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Of people
man.
that you've heard either feel left out or have issues in relation to you and your content. How many fingers do I have?
I would say eight.
Damn.
Like that I concrete know that wasn't happy about like how some of the lobbies were made, but
What do you do?
I think everyone felt some level of FOMO, like literally everyone, except I would say Ray and Saikuno, because when I made the lobbies, I always first invite Ray, first invite Saikuno, right? But that leaves 7 spots.
What do you do from your perspective?
Oh, bro, I think I had a week of Among Us, I had a spreadsheet.
Oh, you tried to like even
Yeah.
out the. Oh, that's nice.
I had a spreadsheet of 5 straight Among Us Day, and every lobby had someone,
variety
a
of
variety
people,
of
yeah.
people. And
Aw.
luckily, I didn't really know about it until like the halfway point. Like maybe if I knew earlier on, I could have fixed things. But at the same time, once I learned, it was just a whole level of stress and anxiety. Because at the beginning, I was like, okay,
Something you'll keep in the back of your mind, basically.
yeah, and that's the expectation that your friends would put on you, right? And Among Us, it's 10 people initially, because you were there for the first day. I remember it started off as me, Saikuno, Scarlet, Lily, and I think you were 5th or 6th person to
I don't
join
even
that
think
day.
I was streaming at the time, but
Yeah, it was
I
just
was just like offline.
yeah. I was
playing.
like, hey, you want to play this game? And you said yes. But it reached a point where it got so big and everyone wants to play. And I swear to God, some of them didn't even want to play. Some of them just was like, "Huh, this is popular.
A
Let
lot
me
of
play."
people,
it."
yes, yes.
And it was definitely hard to juggle, and I had to explain. It's like, well, this is the situation. Like, I'll try and get you into the next one.
That is tough for you.
But then Among Us reached another weird point where it became too content driven. And no, you aren't a fan of that, because for those who don't know, Pokemon's the most competitive person in our friend
Even
group.
9 months does actually.
When is this coming out?
Wait,
Wednesday?
integrity, bro. I have a lot of integrity.
She is the most competitive person I
like
know.
competitive integrity.
Even the simplest like games that we're playing, not even for content, she's trying to win. Like,
It's a natural born gamer in me. What can I say?
but
I respect it.
you guys are gonna see a video released in the next 2 weeks that will capture just how competitive Pokimane is. And it's gonna be like, wow, she is a competitive person. But
What can I say?
but Among Us turned non-competitive because a lot of streamers realize, oh, if I am like wacky and zany, I get more attention.
Oh my god.
How
yeah.
did you feel about that? Because at the beginning, you tried to win every single fucking Among Us game. That's why I kind of like both love and hated playing with you.
I know.
It's like, oh, she's fucking playing to win, man.
Okay, but can I say, like, it is a completely impersonal thing.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm ever competitive, it's because I take so much joy in the fun of games. Like, genuinely. And I remember, like, really great memories of Among Us lobbies where everybody was, like, trying, and it felt so fun. It was, like, a genuine massive murder mystery with all of our friends, and people are like, I saw you turn like this and do this, then you had to weigh like the different types of evidence, and everybody's having a good time, and it feels like an even playing field. Things like that, I'm like, that's freaking fun. And if I do my best and I lose, that's still freaking fun, because it was like an enjoyable ride the whole way there. I will say, when Among Us kind of took its second turn, and I feel bad because again, like, I don't ever want to be a party pooper in certain situations, but, and this isn't like just a me perspective, I've heard this from a lot of people, there are certain points where when it becomes like just about content, and not about competitive integrity at all, in the sense that people make exceptions for others for content reasons or whatever else it is, it starts to feel bad for those that feel like they're the butt of the joke. Like, if they're on a certain team and they're trying, and then they see someone make an exception for someone for clout reasons, or like give them benefits within the game for that reason, I understand why like it would feel less fun for the person playing. And I think the issue in those situations, like, you
Even
can do
stuff like
things for
crime
content
based,
as
they
much
hate
as you want, but when it's like team based and there's other people involved, it will be at the detriment of someone else, likely. So I just wish it was a situation where like you could do stupid things for content and it doesn't like hurt or bother anyone. But in like a game or team driven sense, it's kind of impossible, you know?
Yeah. And
What did you think of those things?
Well, while all of this is going on, don't forget, these are your friends. So
Yeah,
it's
so
like-
it's also like you don't want to like, you don't want to be like, yay, why did you do that?
Yeah, like if you were playing randoms, you'd be like, yo, bro, what the fuck, man? But it's like, oh, this is your friend that you're gonna see next week at someone's birthday party. So you have to balance that with like your approach to it. Have you ever had like confrontations with like people in our friend group about stuff like that? Do you? Because
No. I think I've only ever confronted people about like personal things. When it comes to Among Us, like let's say somebody did do something that I wasn't a fan of content-wise or it made me feel bad or whatever. Again, I don't have like a super deep relationship with everybody. I would only be bothered if it like felt personal on a certain level. And I have no way of gauging, is everybody else in the lobby okay with this? So if I assume that that's the case, which I usually will, then I won't confront someone because it's like, maybe I'm like pet peeved about something you did, but maybe everybody else doesn't care and I don't want to be a party pooper, so I won't say anything. But if I have like a deep friendship with someone and they do or say something that bothers me, then maybe if I feel like it's personal, have you ever, you know?
Oh.
I'm like, hey, yo, stop. You ruining my content.
I remember.
Games. Thank you.
I could probably tell this. It's not a big deal. It was a year ago, but I remember. Yelling's a strong word. I remember chastising Saikuno because he was on cams and he was reading his chat, he was thanking subs. He wasn't reading chat, but like he was thinking, "Hey, thanks for subbing," because he gets a lot of subs, right?
Yeah.
And it's the funniest thing because on the camera, you see me standing there, and someone just walks by, stabs me, and then leaves. And he's thanking subs, and then he looks back. He's like, "Oh my God, Toast is dead." And I just remember like sending him a message like, "Bro, what the hell?"
Okay, but you're competitive as shit too.
Yeah.
You're saying it like it's just me, but it's not. We see it in each other.
Yeah, like I also like the actual effort part of it, right?
Yeah, same.
So I remember saying that, and maybe I should have. I don't know. I think there was a better way for me to do it because I did it like right in the middle of the game, and it kind of like threw him off a little bit. But yeah, I'm similar where I don't like it when not everyone's trying their best, right? But you just gotta
like
find.
when things feel fair
Yeah.
and fun. Like again, everybody, same effort, same playing field. But I understand maybe that's not always best for content or memeing or whatever.
Yeah, there's almost like two groups of gamers nowadays when it comes to streamers. People who are just there for some content, fun. They play like chiller games like speedrunners, Mario Party, but they don't really try like, like silently
Okay,
play.
but that's tough because like I never felt like I was like a Hafu lobby type of person. But I also like don't just want to be in lobbies where like nobody cares and we're all just, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard when you want to be like a mix or you feel like you're a mix.
I've been doing since Among Us. Playing a lot of Valorant.
I really love, like I have a great time on Valorant. But again, like I'll have a great time on whatever is fun.
Do you feel any burnout or anxiety? Because you've been a little quiet, like everyone else, in the last 6 months.
I think I've just accepted that there are like high points in this career and like more dull, chill moments. But instead of looking at dull moments like, oh my God, my numbers aren't as high as Among Us days. Instead of doing that, I kind of take it like a half vacation. Like I'm just gonna play some Valorant, hang out with my friends, do what I want. I think in general in life, I've taken a bit of a chill pill. So that's how I feel right now. As opposed to burnout, it comes and goes sometimes. Right now, I'm pretty chill. Like, I'm very glad that I like Valorant. But if I didn't, can't travel, can't do anything else, don't want to play random games, I would very much feel burnout.
Thank you for
What
the
makes you
4
happy?
months with Prime.
What makes Pokimane happy?
What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Still content. I like it when my videos hit like 1 million views. I'm still very numbers driven, and
Do you like that?
yes, yes, I like
Yes, too.
the
Hope you're having a good day,
grind.
too.
It's stressful and anxiety, but it's competitive,
Mhm.
and I'm a very competitive streamer. But because I've been on a different platform, I could kind of take a vacation. So whenever I return to like, if I return to any other streaming platforms, I think about like competing, but I'm also worried that it changes my relationship with people again, because right now I'm on a good relationship basis with almost everyone.
Because you don't have to see anyone as competition.
Yes, like I don't.
But if you were on the same platform,
Yeah,
it would
like
be different.
I would think twice about like, okay, should I invite this person? Well, they have very little viewership, but I like them. But is it gonna affect like the numbers overall? Or like if I invite a really big streamer, it's like, am I gonna be able to get some of their viewers, or will my viewers go to them? And these are things you kind of have to think about. Like it's not sunshine and rainbows. Let me just play with my friends, right? I don't have to think about that on Facebook, but if I was on Twitch, then it adds that layer. And I want to beat my competitors, right? When me and Scar was streaming TFT together,
Yeah. What a crazy time.
it was nice because I was able to like host into him because he streamed after me, and we had shared overlapping audience. They were all watching TFT, but it also felt a little bad because I know like here's my friend who also wants to be like the top of the top, right? And that person is me, and like we're competing for one and two, but we're roommates and we love each other and we care so much, and it makes me. If it was anyone else, I'd feel like, fuck you, I'm never hosting you. I'm gonna stream over your time. Like, I streamed over every TFT streamer's time slots, but Scara's.
Oh,
And
that's so cute.
I've been on Facebook for 2 years, and I've just been gaming with people. And I worry that when I come back, it's like, hey, all of you,
The
fuck all of
dynamic's
you.
different.
I'm here to take your viewers now, right? So yeah, I still care about the numbers a lot, and that's what makes me happy. It's not. Dr. K says there's something not really fulfilling about that, but what does he know?
I mean, to be fair, he does have like a PhD and he went to Harvard, so he probably knows a couple things. But I think the thing that keeps me from worrying about you in the same way that I worry about other people that view things similarly is that I feel like you are very self-aware of it and its upsides and downsides. So I assume that if there was a reason for you to change someday, like you would. And I do feel like you could probably get to a point where it just doesn't tickle your fancy anymore.
Yeah.
Where you'll just be
I
like
watched
a
the
little
Scar
desensitized.
one already. I watched it on my own time.
I think personally, like, I've been a bit burned by
I literally watched
there being
it
like
last
too much
night
attention
and the
on
night
me.
before.
So now I'm just like,
Before I went to bed.
ultimately, it doesn't matter that much to me. Like, I'd rather just find genuine
That's a
happiness
good one.
in like
I recommend
And
it.
what is
day-to-day
that?
things.
What is genuine
Yeah.
happiness for you?
Oh, actually, another thing about competitive streaming, in relation to one of the prompts from earlier, I think my biggest fear is developing some kind of like crazy health issue or really, really cutting off many years off my life due to what we do.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's my biggest fear.
Thank you
So
for the
that's
2
also
months,
something that
Emma.
creates a barrier
I love you
around
too.
me viewing streaming as like being competitive.
you.
Because I understand, like, if you want to be an
Thank you for the 4
XQC
months,
or a
Frosty.
Hassan or
Thank
whatever,
you.
like, you stream 10 hours a day. You
Yep.
do 24-hour streams. I legit don't. I'm not built like that, bro. I'm not.
Yeah, because we are like essentially the first of our generation, like the hardcore,
Uh-huh.
I
hardcore
miss
streamers.
you
I know there are
too.
people who streamed before us, but they are more chill, like
I need
5,
you to live
6
in
hours
America,
at most.
please.
But this new generation of streamers where people realize, oh, to be the top, you have to like be entertaining,
every day.
and stream a shit ton.
So it's caffeine, 12-hour streams, or whatever else is stimulating you,
What
and
do
you're
you
just
think?
going. But is it even possible to do that without health repercussions? I have no idea.
Do you think some of the hardcore long hour streamers are on anything?
Adderall for sure, probably. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't say it on podcast, but like people take
No,
Adderall.
I'll say it. People take Adderall.
Don't do that. Like if you do not have ADD or ADHD or don't need those medications, don't take
Yeah.
them, because at least personally, I don't find something like that is worth potentially changing the way your brain is wired, essentially.
Yeah, it's a prescribed drug for a reason.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I have to imagine like some streamers who stream like 16 hours a day.
Hmm.
A couple of them must be on something that's
I
not
think
I
they have
caffeine.
can't
even said it
imagine streaming
before,
for that
though.
long.
I
Like,
don't want to speak for people. Okay,
constantly.
sorry. This is another problem I have with knowing so many streamers. I hear about things and I cannot remember whether they said it on stream, whether I heard from someone, whether they told me personally. Like, I start to forget. And the other thing is, maybe I assume you guys probably both feel this way. You hear so much from your friends about everyone else. It's almost like I can't view people the same way anymore. I have to start like compartmentalizing people. It's information overload. But what I mean to say is, whether I heard it, personally, or I'm pretty sure people have said this on stream, that like they just take Adderall every day, but they think that like it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta.
Please only
One.
take prescribed meds if you're prescribed. That's what
Yeah.
I'd recommend.
We don't really know the effects of long-term streaming. Like carpal tunnel, I think is the obvious one.
Yeah, but I feel like it's gotta be way more.
Yeah. But like you're just sitting hunched over your desk, staring at a screen for 16 hours, talking nonstop.
Yeah.
Like
Some people have
Sometimes
really
I worry
good
my voice
posture
is
though
gonna
when they're on the
change.
computer.
From
That's
talking
what
so
I'm
much.
jealous of.
yeah.
That's why I sit at home and I'm like, you need to shut the fuck up. So
Do you have any aspirations? Like mine is being in Hollywood. What's your aspirations?
it's funny when you say aspirations. I just hear like ass, and I'm like, I want a fat ass. That's my aspiration.
Having a fat ass. Oh,
I mean,
we
that's what you
still
go to
need
the gym for.
compare our butts.
Oh my god, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some measuring tape. This is a convo from like a very long time ago.
Oh,
We-
whose ass is fatter, me or Pokey's?
Definitely mine.
This was like a debate or something?
Yeah.
Yes. You guys have
Okay,
you seen
because
my ass?
no, he do be double cheeked up on a Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, all days of the week. But that doesn't mean he outclasses me, bro.
We have tape measures here. We can do this
We
later.
need to measure this.
We can measure.
No.
The debate needs to be settled.
Yeah.
100 gifted if you're back on
100
another
gifted
streaming
subs.
platform.
Because I'm very proud of my ass. I've shown it.
I'm
on
glad you
social
are.
media.
Do you work for it? Is it just like natural?
No, it's natural.
Like it's just always been that. Has it gotten better or worse since you started gymming?
I think worse because I've lost some weight, and because my ass is all fat and natural, I think a lot of it is just regular fat. Do you work
Yeah.
on your ass?
Yeah. Oh my god, I need to show you, because if like you're naturally gifted, this is the way that I think of like making a butt in the gym. It's almost like real estate. If you have a nice plot of land, you can build bigger and higher. Yeah, so if you're already naturally gifted,
No,
you
that's
got a
so
nice
true.
foundation, the gains will only be better and bigger. Yeah. You're gonna be
Yeah.
on some Kim K stuff. Let's go, Toast.
So how do you work out your ass? Is there muscles in there that you make bigger?
Yes. Not only that, there are different muscles. There are muscles that make like the side of your butt poke out. There's like the majority muscle that make it
Thank you
that
for
makes
the
it like
sub
more
with Prime Baron.
bubble-ish.
Thank
And
you,
then there's
Q.
like your hamstrings to like create definition. Your quads can sometimes even like make you look curvier. I need to show you. All you need is hip thrusts, bro.
I was gonna say, Tess, have you? For the
You do
listeners at
hip
home,
thrusts?
Pokey, you'll have to describe or something. But you like feet are here, knees there, and then you go like that with your hips. That's really good for your glutes.
I hope that doesn't look weird on that camera. You might have to blur it out. But yeah.
I don't think we're catching it.
You're just humping the air,
Pretty
Yes,
much, yeah.
essentially.
Yes, absolutely. But that builds your glutes like no other.
Got it. And that's your aspirations to have a fat ass.
I was just making a joke about the word. But my actual aspirations, I think like clout is cool and all, but I'd like to have more like meaningful impact in some way. What that means exactly, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I explore it more and more with every year, and with, as you know, my company coming out, that'll be a way to explore it. So we'll see where life takes me. Do you want like a family and kids? Yeah, because like sometimes like, I feel like that is an important like differentiating factor sometimes in people's lives. Like I do want a family and kids.
Oh man.
I guess that's something I aspire to.
Yeah, I think people in our friend just doesn't have time to think about family and kids because they're gonna detract from streaming.
Yes, but then like if you don't take the time to think about anything, nothing in your life will ever change. Because you need to think about it in order to set time aside to do something to accomplish anything.
Yeah.
I could see that though. We're all just 40 playing Among Us.
Yeah, like for the next 2 years, I don't see any of us stopping what we're doing. But yeah, like family, kids, we don't really think about that. We're just so fixated. Like streaming is a bit of a trap sometimes. So
Yeah,
it just
but
keeps you in here.
do you ever think like, is this fixation my choice?
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like, it's easier when you're like near the top. Like, it's pretty easy for me to detach from it and not worry about it too much because I know like if I ever want to get back into it, I could.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in the mid tier and all your friends are talking about, it's like, oh, streaming, I'm doing collab here, I'm doing a stream here, and you're like, oh god, I need to do a stream there. And, like if you're out and about and someone whips out their vlog cameras, like, oh god, they're vlogging, I need a vlog. And it's just this like we're feeding into each other.
Now I almost feel bad.
Vlogging?
I don't want to make any of our friends feel like they need to do anything. You know what I mean? I don't want to impose on them any sort of expectations or feelings of inadequacy either. Sometimes I worry about that. Like, do you feel like I'm intimidating?
Yes, you're the most intimidating
jeez.
person in our friend group. And
But why?
I'm saying
Oh, wait,
that
okay,
as
sorry.
one of the more intimidating ones.
Do you feel like me or you are intimidating, or that people are intimidated? Because the differentiation I'm trying to make is like, if I do anything to intimidate others, I would want to know that. Like if I like show up in a room and I'm like mean mugging everybody, don't talk to me. You know, like if that's what I do, then I wouldn't want to do that. But how do you view it?
I think you're someone, you mentioned this, you're someone with expectations of people based on friendship. Not as in like, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. But like when you put someone like in higher regards, it means a lot to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when they fail to meet like the same regard that you're giving them, like it hurts you a lot. But a lot of people don't know or aren't super aware of it. So I think that's what's intimidating about you to people. Because you've always been very nice to people in person, like especially fans. For those who don't know, Pokimane, when it comes to fans, first-hand witness, she's not a bitch, she's not a diva. She makes an effort, but she'll say like, hey, oh, I remember this at TwitchCon where we were rushing to a place. And most people just don't have the balls to say, no, sorry, I gotta go. But I remember you took some pictures, but then it was getting too much, and you just say, hey guys, I can't. I love all of you, and you went, right? So you're always very nice, but it's that I liken you to some like a Daenerys Targaryen, where people love you, but there's also a sense of fear.
I want them to fear me as much as they love me, but also love me a lot. I get what you mean, and I can see that. And I hope that the people that I do hold in high regards realize that it's because I would kill for you. So if you don't kill for me, what are we? But I'm also curious about people that like I'm just not that close to. Sometimes I worry that people find me intimidating just because of like our work differences, our viewership difference. But that is something that I do not care about at all. If anything, I think I love people when they are unafraid of me. When they'll just like come to me, act like who they are, don't care about anything. I find that very like amicable or I
Let me
just
ask
like
you,
it.
do you like it when they're a little afraid of you?
I wouldn't say I like it per se, but if it's due to the right reasons, I will find that flattering. You know?
To be afraid of you.
If it's for the right reasons.
right
You know, I would hope it's not anything that I impose on them, but if they're like, oh my God, like I just think so highly of you, it almost scares me. I'm like, oh, like that's kind of cute. Yeah. What about you? I think you are also like, it's funny because I can imagine people having similar sentiments towards us both due to like also the positions we hold in our friend group. But the way we are in social circles is so different. It's like really interesting. Toast is like elusive, mysterious. He comes in and out like a cat that you really want to like you, but you can't fucking tell if they do. That's Toast. Me, I'm like talking to everybody.
Yeah, we are very. I feel like we are very similar in regards to our prestige, but different in how we show it with our friend group. Because I can say this in meetings. There's good cop, bad cop. Pokimane is bad cop,
yeah.
and I'm good cop. And
I don't know if you'd be good cop. I don't know if anyone in particular is good cop. But I think I do tend to be like devil's advocate. I'm very straightforward about stuff.
And I always say it's like a hard road to be like the bad cop, to be the quote unquote party pooper. But
I have to be a hard ass sometimes, but it's because like I've been with OTV literally since day one, obviously, and I've seen us be hurt by so many things.
Yeah.
I just don't want to hurt anymore, man.
Yeah, and it's tough because you want everyone to get along, but there are things that should be said, and someone's got to say them, right? And you generally take on that responsibility. And it's like, wow, Pokey, wow, I can't believe she said that. But I'm also glad she said that, so I'm not the one saying that.
Yeah, no, it's really just because there are so many times where I've seen us get very swept up in the yes, okay, anything, yes, okay, anything. And it always bites us in the ass. Well, almost always. Yeah, and it's been tough, even personally, for me to be like, should I like still try to like be bad cop or play devil's advocate or like explain why certain things maybe aren't good, even if it's the easiest thing. But as long as like I feel like it's something you guys appreciate or that is needed, then I'm happy to do that for the betterment of the whole.
Yeah. But to answer your question, I do I like it when they're a little fearful. Like, if I can't have their love, I would rather have their fear, right?
Would you rather have their love or their fear?
Thank you for the impatient language.
I think it probably depends on the person.
Depends
right?
on the person. Yeah. Like, some people in our friend group are like, I want you to be afraid of me.
Why is that? Maybe it like showcases a sense of respect.
Yeah, and also some people are just more likely to overstep boundaries or make mistakes, and I want to be able to like kind of call them out on it without that complication of liking the person. So, and people do try and be my friend, and I keep them at arm's length. It's like, you know, I like you, but you know, I don't show my friendship in a conventional manner. Like, people don't really hug me, or like I don't show love very openly. It's so that
when you do get a toast hug, it's a good day, you know.
Yeah, but like when someone messes up, and I have to be the one to send them a message and like say, hey, you know, this was not very cool, like you fucked up. It's really
Wait,
hard.
can we just
Prime
take a
time.
moment? Imagine getting that message from Toast. I had to pee my pants on the spot.
I think I've sent it to I've sent it to Peter once. I sent it
I
to
think I recall.
Edison once, and in both cases, like a month after, I'd be like, oh man, I feel really bad because
Aw.
that's not a great way to form a friendship. But at the
Mhm.
same time, it's like I don't know. I feel like I don't have to be as harsh as I am sometimes, but
But it's probably hard for you to imagine a different way of going about it.
yeah. Cause who else will?
Have those convos.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about being bad cop.
It's like
sometimes.
yeah, cause especially with girls, because girls I think is a little more complicated because you're expected to be like, hey, we're all friends, everything's cool, we all love each
Oh,
other, best
yeah.
friends, but and very non-confrontational. I think the girls are way more non-confrontational than the guys.
Mhm.
So as one of the more forward girls, I imagine it's really hard for you to just message someone. It's like, hey, can we talk? And it's like, oh my god, what's happening?
Yeah, interestingly enough, I think with business and like probably as you've seen, like I'm pretty straightforward about stuff. But when it comes to personal relationships, from what I've seen and heard, I feel like I'm much more considerate and emotionally aware than a lot of other people. So it's like I will confront people about things, but I won't like that doesn't mean that I have to do it in a mean way, especially if I care about them, especially if they're like a girlfriend of mine. I actually feel like the standards there, like Celine, you know, like you can imagine the convos we have with each other, like they're never ever mean or bitter. It's like, hey, you did this and I don't know how I feel about it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to and I want you to know that I care about you. You know, it's very very cutesy in that regard, which I appreciate. But then with business, I'm like, this is clear cut. Done.
Have you ever yelled at someone before?
Over message or in person?
In person, like
Yeah.
audibly, like yelled at them.
You know who. But they yell at me. I mean, you'll have to bleep it or whatever. But fucking crazy. He had anger management issues. He would. This one time, he literally hit the chair that I was sitting in because he was mad at me for not like going somewhere. And that's when I'm like, what the fuck? So maybe like a couple yelling times there, but even then, not that much.
Ever do it in like a business sense?
Celine is very nice.
I never yelled in
I
a
love Celine.
business setting. I think. Do you recall me yelling in meetings?
No, no,
Really?
not meetings.
Yeah. I can't imagine a situation that I'd be yelling because I have like an agent and a manager. And you know, like when it comes to, like there's a company or sponsor and then there's agent and manager, they have to be the bad guys.
Mhm.
Thank the good Lord. So I think you have to be like, oh, sweet, innocent content creator in that position. And then I just tell them all the things that I feel. And then they can yell for me if need be. But even then, I feel like there's no reason to yell in business. Like if someone doesn't respect me enough to conduct themselves properly, deuces. Have you yelled?
Once.
Ooh, what was it?
It was at my agent.
Mhm.
Because I had a sponsorship and dedicated YouTube videos is probably one of the
Yeah.
biggest like thing you can do for a sponsor.
Yeah.
It lives on your YouTube. It's an entire video dedicated to something that's not your regular content.
Mhm.
Lives there forever, right?
And impacts the algorithm sometimes.
Yeah, because you're going
your
off
channel.
your regular content.
Mhm.
And he left out a whole dedicated video deliverable. And this contract was signed, set in stone. And I already did 80% of it. And at the very end, he said, by the way, you need to do another whole YouTube video. And
No.
that didn't set me off, but in the back of my head, like, this is a huge, huge fuck up.
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything, and I just did it. And then after that, there was another mistake, and I snapped, and I yelled at him, like, full volume and swore, and
I would have paid to see that.
I felt really bad afterwards.
You're the
Surely we ended our
being
relationship,
naughty.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one time I yelled in a business or in any setting, because I feel like yelling is really not conducive
Too much.
to you're
Yeah.
nothing is made better by yelling. Yelling is just like
It's just it's a way you release your anger almost.
it won't fix it
But it for sure makes the situation worse.
worse.
I think that's why it's so hard for me to remember moments where I yell. There's plenty of moments where I am very bothered by someone being incompetent. I think that's my number one trigger, actually. When I hire someone and I feel any sense of them being incompetent. Like, if I can do your job better than you, this no bueno. So I won't lie, I feel that sentiment a lot, but I never yell at them for it, just because in my mind it's like they're not gonna do any better by me yelling. So
do you give them the I'm kind of disappointed by this?
yeah, I'll hit him with the disappointment. That one's a good one. It triggers the parental feelings. I communicate probably too much. Like, again, just very confrontational. I'll be like, I feel like you should have done this. And I'm very straightforward about every time that I feel that way, so that I make sure they get the hint. Yeah, that's life.
Yeah, that's how you gotta do it. All right.
I don't know how we are for time. Are we at like 1:30? We'll be at.
Wow, it's because
Or
we don't get
1:30?
to talk that often.
I know.
We have so much to talk about.
We really do. The only other thing that I thought might be interesting was like the relationship stuff. I think that could be interesting.
See, I didn't want to bring that up. I'm glad you brought it up.
No, listen, Toast. I came here to be an open guest. Ask me the spicy stuff.
All right. So from all the years I've known you, you've been very, very like low key about your personal relationship, dating, anything regarding to that, because you've seen firsthand just how messy things get.
Yeah.
Do you still feel similarly as you did all those years ago, where you feel like anything I do relationship wise or even like shipping or like flirting has to be kept under wraps, or are you more open to talking about stuff like that now?
I'm more curious to hear from you first, and then I'll talk. Yeah, how do you feel about it all? Because we're on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. You've had a very public relationship. You've seen the ups of it, the downs of it. Now, how do you feel about moving forward? It's hard, right?
Probably wouldn't talk. Okay, so this is the weird thing. Relationship content does very well. Like BFGF stuff, or even just like flirting or the beginning of like shipping, content wise, or dating shows like Tinder, swiping right, swiping left, right? These are all things you can do when you're single, and people love it because there's a lot of lonely people out there living vicariously through their favorite streamer or whatever. But it's cool when you're in it. It's exciting. It's like, wow, so much people are paying attention, right? But it's hard to be genuine. At some point, you don't know, like, am I doing this because
Where the line is.
yeah. And it's like when we do stuff, it's like, why is one of the first questions like, are we streaming this? And you want to go on a date, you want to grab dinner. It's like, hey, maybe we should vlog it. It's like it's not a normal relationship, and I don't know if there's a lot of. Can you think of a lot like public streamers where both participants are like big streamers and it's successful?
Probably just Lud and Cutie. And even them, like, I think everything that they do is great, but I'm sure they still have their struggles. And I don't mean personally, but I'm sure they still feel some of the downsides of having a public, personal relationship. Yeah.
Because there's been quite a few breakups over the last few months, and every time there's thousands of people commenting on your relationships. Like, oh, wow, why didn't it work out? What do you think that is? Let's go back and look at all these clips from the past and commentate on it.
Oh, that's so cringe.
I probably keep my stuff private.
Low-key.
Very just like not talk about it. If I was like seeing someone, I feel like if I wasn't seeing someone, then I'd probably just go to the other.
I'm single. Any girls want to link up?
I went through that phase for a while, and then I just completely stopped because I realized 60% of my tweets was talking about like girls, and that does give off an air of like, oh man, do you talk about anything else, bro? So after I had the realization, I decided to
it's
just
funny.
never tweet about girls or like relationships or anything like that. It gets good engagement, it's funny, but
You don't want your brand to be built off that, or like your reputation,
Yeah.
or what people know you for. That's true.
and also it started affecting the girls that I did know. It's like no one wants to date a guy who only talks
Tweets
about
that.
yeah,
That's
it's like
true.
and the girls who would be interested in
That's
that
facts.
probably aren't the girls you want to talk to anyway. So yeah.
Very, very, very true.
What about you? How has your perspective changed?
I think in the past, okay, when I first got into streaming, even like baby streamer, part time, still in college, whatever, I was like, I don't ever want to publicize my relationship with someone else within the space because I don't ever want that to be used against me to invalidate my success.
Yeah.
And then I became very successful and people invalidated it anyways. So, just kidding. But I actually don't think that's the worst thing because that's probably one of the things you don't hear as much. Like sometimes you'll hear like Fortnite myth, this and that, but like you just can't really say that I built all these channels and like my empire or whatever through someone else.
Yeah.
Not even that that is necessarily like a bad thing. If you get exposure through someone else, that's totally fine. But I just know that personally, coming up or starting, that was already like a main point of mine where I was like, I want to make it on my own.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt then. But now I'm kind of at a point where it's like, could not, it doesn't impact me that much. Like someone else being involved in my life isn't gonna like make or break me essentially. So to be honest, I have no idea. What do you think? You know, if I start seeing someone, she's like, guys, this is Alexander. That's my go-to name. I don't know why.
Alexander.
This is Alexander. I feel like when I get married, then I'll be like, this my hubs, because it's forever.
So it's gonna go from zero public exposure to, by the
I'm
way,
married
husband
and pregnant. I feel like that might actually be me, but I'm just not 100% sure if like I should. Yeah, at this point in my life, like I'm mid-20s.
Are you
Obviously, I'll be
comfortable
dating.
talking about
whatever.
like past stuff?
Only ambiguously, so it
Ambiguously.
depends what. Yeah.
Have you been on a date in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
How have you been on any bad dates? Because you told some stories to me of like of you showing up to a date and them dropping some bombs on you.
Yes. You want that story?
Yeah.
Okay. I will try to TLDR it, so because I have this thing with stories where like if I tell it at full, I'm telling it at full. Essentially, I matched with this guy on a certain app, and
Oh
this
yeah.
was
You
yeah.
use dating apps.
Not
Used
anymore.
Dating apps. Right.
in the past when I tried to use them, I got banned off of every single one. So this time specifically, I was like, I want to try a dating app specifically meant for like Middle Easterns because I'm Moroccan and I've never really dated someone who's Middle Eastern. So I was like, let's see what this would be like. Maybe we'll have some cultural similarities, maybe to connect on that. So I downloaded this app called Baklava. Which like the app's not bad, but it was fine.
Well,
and I
don't wanna
specifically
talk
like
over,
I made everything
you guys are
so
trying to
sus,
hear
so
them
no one would
talk,
like know right away.
Like
that
I
it's
don't want
me.
to talk
I used
over
photos
them.
I'd never posted before. I I used photos where like you can't fully see me, like I'm hiking and it's like back of my head or whatever, things like that. So I didn't get like immediately yeeted off the app like I usually do, because apps usually think I'm catfishing myself, which is such an odd problem to have. So after a couple days of being on the app, honestly, I was just so overwhelmed. Have you used dating apps recently at all?
No, not recently.
It's just a lot of work. Like, even just
I don't know,
thinking
I'm-
about
I'm
whether you want to
a
swipe-
very,
and
like,
maybe it's just me.
silent
I overthink
watcher.
things.
Like,
I'm like,
whenever I
this
watch
person has
anything,
no information.
videos,
Do I want
movies,
to
I'm
be shallow and swipe based off of how
I'm
they
just
look? Should I give
watching
them
the
a
whole
chance? Should I-
time,
It's
like,
just too
nodding
much
my head.
decision-making process.
and then, like, towards the
So I
end, if I have
decided
something
to
to say
delete
about
the
the
app.
movie, then I
But
talk
before
about it
doing
afterwards.
that, there was
but
one guy whose profile I liked, and we matched and we talked a bit. So I was like, hey, I'm deleting the app, but here's my number. You can text me.
Ooh.
Yeah, sheesh. You know, I made a little move. I said, later, but text me if you want.
Mhm.
So he texts me, we get to talking, blah, 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 and he's like, let me take you out to dinner. I was like, okay. He's like, let me take you to Nobu. I said, okay. If you don't know, Nobu's kind of like a fancy sushi place in LA. So we made plans for like 4 days later, but in between us like starting to text and our date 4 days later, this dude was mad texting me, like mad. And again, I know like it's not that big of a deal, you know, maybe he's just really interested. But I won't lie, it just felt a little eager to me. Like it just gave me bad vibes
Mhm.
of like, this is not normal if like you just met someone. You maybe don't ask them everything up front via text.
Right.
Especially because to me, I was like, we have plans to like hang out in 4 days. I'll get to know you then. Anyways, so by the time the date night rolls by, I'm like, I'm not really feeling like going. I've been kind of put off by all the things he has said over text. I even tried to drop hints like, yo, we not gonna have anything to talk about at dinner if you don't stop
guys.
asking me stuff.
Mhm.
It's like it felt like an interview via text.
Right.
But he was like, we're gonna be fine. I really didn't feel like going to the date, but I went anyways. I show up, and I get seated at our table, and I'm like pleasantly surprised. He's like tanned, he's fit, he's like pretty attractive. I think he's like 29 or something. We get to talking. We talk about everything on the face of the planet. Our past relationships, our expectations, literally family, marriage, religion, where we grew up, the languages, everything you could possibly imagine. And things are going like pretty well. I was
Mhm.
like, I'm pleasantly surprised. Is this what dating is like? Amazing. We're an hour and a half into dinner, and he starts telling me about his ex-wife and 2 kids. It's
Two
like
kids, huh?
2, not even one of them. 2.
How old were they? Do you remember?
They're like, I think like 4 and 5.
So they're like a little grown up.
They're grown.
Yeah.
But I was just like, you know, you know which GIF I'm talking about, the one that's like this. That. And I had to process on the spot, like, would I be okay with dating someone with kids? Like, what does that mean? Do I have an issue with it? Do I not? It was just like a lot to take in at once. But ultimately, what I was really bothered by was just like, how are you gonna text me nonstop for 4 days? Tell me so much about your life, your business. Like, I felt like I could interview at his company and like ace it.
Mhm.
But then you don't mention your kids whatsoever until like all the way after. And I understand it must be hard for people with kids to date,
Yeah.
but I guess it's just my personal opinion that like I would be so much more attracted to someone if they were really upfront about it. They're like, I love my kids, I'm a great dad, as opposed to like, let me mention it later to try to like hook you in first.
Yeah, because this was a couple of years ago. You were like 24?
Oh no, this happened like within the last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
So 24?
So I was 24, yeah.
Yeah, to kind of make that decision. I'm 24 years old. Am I gonna be able to be essentially a surrogate mother to a 4 and 5-year-old?
It's a big decision to make. And I mean, if I was in his shoes, I would only want to be with someone that I knew would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like duping someone into it will just create like a foundation of uncertainty within the relationship anyways.
25. I think she's a year
So-
younger than me.
Yeah, it was just like an awkward situation. All in all, like on my profile page, it's 3 photos of me and my cat.
Right.
And it's like on his, it's all just solo shots. And on his Instagram, solo shots. Like he looks so single, bachelor, no kids whatsoever. So yeah, that was my one like random dating experience. And since then, it's been a little quiet, but such is life.
Okay. Wow, I didn't expect that because like you being able to tell a story? Because
I wanted to tell this story in a short form, and I still couldn't. Like, I'm so...
that's as short as it gets.
Really, though.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that you are a little more open with that. Because I think if you talked about dating like 2-3 years ago, I can imagine the reaction would be like, oh, Pokemon is like seeing other people, and then people will make fun of the Sims. They say, oh, all the Sims are gonna unsubscribe. It's like, no,
Yeah.
they're making up all these imaginary scenarios and it's like laughing at it, right?
Yeah.
But
It's just like drama for no reason. Yeah. Whereas like I am a regular 25-year-old, just like any other one.
Yep.
So.
Cool. I'm glad. I love hearing that story.
I will
so
tell
funny.
you many more stories then.
All
and
right.
You can give me dating advice in the future. We're like, you know what?
Oh.
Go public. You know what? Don't. Shh. I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
But at least I have friends to go on this journey with.
Yeah. All right. You know, we did a viewer question last week.
Yeah.
And, you know, Pokimane is great at giving advice.
Oh, thanks.
Remember Dr. Pokey?
Yeah.
That's a
We need to do
throwback.
that again soon, I think.
All right. We have one viewer question. Potabi. I met this single girl a few weeks ago, and we really hit it off. Hang out every couple of days, just one-on-one. And she always steers the conversation towards relationship topics and feels flirty. She asked if I had a crush on anyone, and I told her I liked her. But she said she had to collect her thoughts before responding. But she hasn't brought it up since then, and we've been talking like usual. Thoughts on the situation, and how should I go about this moving forward? Look, this bitch baited you. All right. Well,
That is true.
Thanks for watching.
yo, I used to be a bit of an incel. I'm not anymore. I'm recovering.
Recovering.
Like, if a
Don't
girl-
worry, he still relapses sometimes. It's crazy.
It's coming out now. I'm fighting it. How do you hang out with a guy one-on-one, talk about relationship, and then say, hey, you got a crush on anyone?
Hot, there is some ambiguity there. Like, you can hang out with guys one-on-one. Again, we don't know how dry or, like, exciting this really was. In the sense that,
True.
you know, things are very, like, subjective. You could think she's giving you all these signs and she's just smiling.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, very subjective in that sense. However, I actually think, like, he's right when he says, like, hang out one-on-one, relationships topics, feeling flirty. Because when he brought up how he felt, she didn't say she didn't feel the same. So I don't think he was fully misreading the situation. I just think it's time that you kindly prepare a way to bring it up
But
again.
if she was interested, why didn't she just say, yeah, I do have a crush on you?
Maybe she was gauging it, and then as soon as he was like, I like you, which honestly, like, damn, ballsy. I thought he was gonna be like, oh, like I said, I like someone, but I didn't tell her who, you know?
Oh, there's this girl I like. She's really cool.
We hang out sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe she was expecting that, so she was surprised by how straightforward he was. So I would say what I love is, like, anytime you're unsure about an interaction, just prep the fuck out of it. Literally sit there with a pen and paper and be like, how will I bring this up? Hello. What's a good girl name? Ashley. Ooh, that's like a hot girl name. Shit. She gonna break your heart. Anyways, hello, Ashley. You're like mid-convo, how's it going, blah, blah. By the way, very casually, I was wondering if you had some time to think about what we mentioned during our last hangout. Boom, that's it. And then you're opening up the dialogue. And I also encourage you to think through some possible things she would say, some things you could rebuttal with, how to move the conversation along. Yeah.
She just likes the attention, my guy. She's just using you to feed her ego.
Insult there, insult us there.
I mean,
let me give you some hope though.
Uh-huh.
I feel like if that was the case, she would have just said no. She got what she wanted, the attention, knowing that he likes her.
Well,
but for her to say, I'm not sure, potential.
But it's also hard to say no when you're alone in a room with a guy and say, hey, do you like me? It takes a strong woman to be like, no, I don't.
What does it say about me if, like, I would for sure say no?
Because you're a strong woman.
I'm just confrontational as fuck. Do you like? I feel like having someone's like being someone's crush is like a responsibility.
Yeah.
Like you owe them to be straightforward with them. So, yeah, I guess that's how I usually see it.
But yeah, you should find out
mhm.
though. Like follow up.
You just gotta ask again. You'll never know because We can't tell you for sure how she feels. It could really go either way. Maybe she did just want the attention. But maybe she's just shy and she really likes you, but she just had to think it through.
Yeah, don't come out the gate
That
accusing
could
her of
be.
you stringing me along, man. But
Yes, very important.
you're gonna ruin your chances instantly.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta be like, if you like her and you don't want like this wishy-washy friend zone thing, it is your responsibility
Set
to
those
like,
boundaries.
hey, I really like you and I want to figure things out. So like, I need a more clear answers. Like, is it a possibility? Like, you don't want to be stuck in this. All right, let's never talk about it, but we're still hanging out one-on-one. But you don't want to. You're not into me. What do you think, Broden?
Give her an ultimatum.
Is that what you would do?
I would do like what Pokey said. I would do like a.
I'm trying to imagine what he would say. Tell me now, or I will murder your cat. Like,
Yeah, you bring it up casual. Bring it up in a way that it's like no stress and no
yes.
like, whatever answer is gonna be fine.
Actually, one of my favorite like conversation hack tips for that is a way to really get an answer out of someone and to gauge how they feel about something is you tell them, hey, I just wanted to see about XYZ. Do you want to blah, blah, blah? Or, and you say the opposing option and you make it very clear that that opposing option is okay. Let me explain. Let's say you and someone like have plans to hang out, but you feel like they're not really like, they don't want to anymore. Or whether it's liking someone, whatever, you say, hey, do you still want to hang out? Or do you want to maybe do something another time or whatever? And like, don't worry, like it's really not a big deal. If you make the other option like equally appealing and make it clear that it doesn't matter to you which way they choose, then they'll be honest with you. But if you just say, do you want to X? Sometimes like, oh God, I feel pressure to say yes. But if you say both options and they're totally fine, even if deep down you would cry if she said no, you gotta pretend that you don't care and then she'll tell you the truth. But I don't wanna hang out. I don't like you. If you don't like me, it's totally okay. We can still be friends.
And then you cry.
And then
Yeah, you cry anyways.
It's definitely
because
much
looking
easier
at
to
the
get an
situation now,
honest answer
it feels like
if
a
you bring
friend
it up
zone,
like that.
undefined thing, and he is gonna like bother him. So,
Yeah, I've seen things go all sorts of ways.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's a lot of
you
times.
you get them answers in a nice, nonchalant, stressful free way.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of times a guy gets too demanding, and then it's
Yes.
just over with.
Yes, yes. So it is really, really good rule of thumb to just never ever put pressure when you're asking these sorts of things.
Yeah,
Or
'cause-
demand an answer by a certain day. Oh my God, a guy did that to me once.
Oh,
And-
how'd that work out?
Ooh.
Yeah, I specifically have a thing where if someone puts pressure on me, sometimes even when it's a thing that's like good for me,
Mhm.
I'll be like, oh, you think you can make me do something? No. Like, I will just back the F off as soon as I feel any sort of pressure like that.
So, definitely don't demand or pressure her or anything, but
Agreed.
you gotta find out, right? You gotta have expectations so
Yo,
you're
can
not
you
stuck in
update
this.
us? I want to know what happened.
Yeah, Potabi. Oh
Someone
yeah,
hit up Potabi.
do
I
want
wanna
an
know.
update. It's like I listened to Toast and told her to fuck up, and now I'm crying. Or I listened to.
I listened to
Pokey.
Pokey and I asked kindly, and now we're married with 3 kids
Yeah,
and a picket fence and a golden retriever. So
it's better than a no. And honestly, if she didn't like you, she could just not hang out with you, right?
Yeah.
So, you have a chance, but you gotta.
Good luck.
You gotta follow it. All right, that was fun.
That was very fun.
I'm very invested in if he turns out to be like a.
Same, because like I get no straightforward reads from this.
Yeah.
It's like it could go either way.
Yeah. If you guys want to leave more questions, leave it in, I don't know, the YouTube comments or the Reddit thread.
Yeah, where do you get these from?
I think this one was from the Reddit thread on
Ah.
r/.
Offline
Offline TV.
TV, the most poppin' subreddit there ever was.
Yes. All right. I think that was a good one to end it on.
Great
I had a
talk.
great time talking
I
to you.
really enjoy talking to you too. I'm happy to be on the podcast anytime,
Yeah.
or to just talk anytime.
talk shit about people.
Hell
We love
yeah.
doing that. Thank you all so much for watching the podcast. Hope you guys are having a nice
It was very
drive home,
interesting.
or if you're doing your homework.
Aw,
When
that's
do you
so
listen to podcasts?
cute. During anything. I'll shower and listen to a podcast.
All right.
A lot. Do my hair, do my makeup, clean
You're
the house.
showering.
Ooh, if you're
doing your
showering,
makeup?
scrub your butt.
Do you
Mhm.
scrub your butt?
Yeah.
Do
The
you use a
Scar
bidet?
one is. I already watched the
I
Scar
don't have
one.
one in my current apartment. Very sad.
If
stuff.
I didn't
Yeah,
watch it, I would watch it
I
on
use a
stream. But
bidet?
I
No, no,
literally
no. I
just
feel like the
watched it
bidet is too
yesterday.
messy.
I have to
so
use wet wipes
it's a little.
All right.
Peasant life.
Thank you for watching. Now you know how we clean our
Our butts.
asses.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you guys look at the title
we talk
here,
about asses a lot. Though. Okay, sorry.
very very
Bye-bye.
interesting title: race and gender. It's a very interesting way to. Yeah, I remember I was talking to Skara, and I was like, "What is this? What is this podcast title?" But yeah, oh, I need to do this before I end my segment. Yeah, I mean, this is my HelloFresh stream, so if you guys want 14 free meals across 5 boxes with free shipping, please make sure to use code HUN14 over there or down below, I think. Well, this is my last HelloFresh stream, so. But I mean, I do like the service, and it's really nice, especially like if you don't have time or if you're busy and you can't get groceries very often, or you don't have, or if you're just lazy, honestly, or if you don't know how to cook. But yeah, thank you so much for the Prime, Shanef. Thank you. I need to play this thing. The screen. Boom. Dude, I loved Scar's podcast. It's like a really good. If you guys have the chance, I think I literally just listened to it like while I was laying in bed before falling asleep. It was really nice. Wow. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching the podcast with me. That was nice. So I didn't have to what do you call it? Use my voice as much. I did finish all my tea, or I guess I'm almost done, so how do I take this off? What did I think of the Pokemon? I thought it was good. I think Mon's always a very insightful person. She has a lot of experience in a lot of things, especially for her age. Like, she knows a lot, and she's very experienced. Like, everything you could possibly think of. So I think that's really cool. She's always very nice. Every time I've interacted with Amon, she's very kind, very sweet. Really wise for a 12. Okay, Kent. She's not 12. She's times 2 that age plus 1. Well, she's older than you, Kent. So what can you say? If you're calling her 12 years old, you're like 8. Thank you for the 4 months comment, Naman. Thank you. Ken is 11 and a half. He's a little bit younger. Ken, I forgot. Are you... Oh, God. Are you 97? You're 97. Yeah, I remember. You're born in 1997. So you're a year younger than her. If I recall correctly. Gosh. Y'all are so young. I'm just saying that because, I just feel like it's because I'm past halfway through 20, so I'm like, I'm 26. I'm not 25 or younger. Okay, but like 24 compared to 26 just sounds so much younger. Like, he's not above 25 yet. Like, after, like, but honestly, even though, everyone, wants to be younger, like, there's always like some stigma around age. I honestly, when I think about it and sit back, I do like being older. Or, like, if I were still 22, like, at the age of 22, I literally did not know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know, like, I had, like, no sense of direction in life. But, like, getting much older, I just feel... Are my alerts? Okay, I think it's fixed. But Yeah, it's honestly really refreshing to like actually know what I want to do in life or have a particular idea and like finding some sort of purpose in life or like what I strive to accomplish during my lifetime. It's just like a lot more fulfilling. Like when I was 20 or like my early 20s, late teens, I was just, I mean, I was like super depressed in college, especially during like my first few years. It just felt really aimless and like pointless to like go through life every single day. I was just like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't see a purpose of like, you know, going through like not saying it in like a harmful way, but it's just like it just like logically I was just like I don't see a point in like, you know, the next day it just feels empty because I don't have anything to do. But I feel like now I have a sense of appreciation for the friends I have. Like individually, I can feel that people care for me, or like these friendships that I've formed over the years, I can always like talk to them comfortably and feel like, wow, like these people really care about me and I really care about them. And then it's like I really care for my family. I really want to give back to my family. So it's like the bonds that I've created over the years, and I feel like a sense of like return, like I can sense that we both care for each other. That's what makes life fulfilling for me, at least. So that's what keeps me going, and honestly I feel like that could keep me going for life. So it's like it's really nice, especially, but like, you know, when you're younger and you're confused, and I mean even at an older age you could still feel I mean, like, obviously it's not like I feel that all the time. Like there are definitely moments in life where I feel down still, or like, you know, I'm not feeling well, or you wake up and you feel anxious like that. That's something that happens to me very often. Like it's just I wake up and you just feel anxious off the bat, like starting off your day. I mean obviously it just it feels horrible. Like you just feel like some existential dread or anxiety, and there's no like particular cause or like root of it. It's just like you wake up with the feeling and you're like, wow, well, I have to deal with this first thing in the morning. That's really great. But I mean, the nice thing is that there's always things to do or things to remind myself of that I can always go back to, so I won't feel as bad, I feel like. And then, you know, I try to make do, or like try to do something during my day. I think that's what helps me the most, especially when I'm feeling anxious. It's like even if it's the smallest little task you can think of, even if it's just like cleaning a segment of your room, like a small portion, even like cooking something, it's like it just gives you a little sense of accomplishment. It's like, even though, you know, I felt horrible today, at least I did this or something a little bit productive. So it's like you don't feel bad. But yeah. What age did I start college? I just turned 18 when I went into college. Well, yeah, I graduated when, I mean, my birthday's in June and graduation's in June, so that was like around the time. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like the average age of, you know, starting college, like when you turn 18 or are 18, I suppose. Or like if you literally go from like high school to college. But honestly, to me, okay, I did not know at the age of 18 what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. When you really think about it, like the pressure and standard of like going to college immediately right after high school, where you've been like babied and you're like living with your family your whole entire life, it's like you expect me to know what to do for the rest of my life, or like study something. And especially like in the US, like college is expensive, you know, like it costs a lot of money. So it's even like more pressure to stick to what you started learning, because if you change your major, then you have more time in school, which means more money spent, and it's just more stress, right? So I know a lot of people who have gone through their majors even though they didn't enjoy it because it's just what they picked in the beginning and they didn't want to pay more or like take time off and, you know, switch and pay. I mean, like, it's just, when I think about education in America, it's it's definitely super stressful in terms of how much it costs. But honestly, I feel like through my experience, taking a year off was really nice. I feel like after college, having like a gap year is really nice to explore what you could possibly want to do. Because I went into college right after I finished high school, and I just went in with majoring in psychology because I was like, I don't know what the heck I want to do. My parents wanted me to be a lawyer. I was like, you know, I really don't think I would enjoy doing that. Like, ever since I was a young child, they always try to like implant that idea in me. They're like, you should be a lawyer, you should be a lawyer, you should be a lawyer, you should be a lawyer. And the reason why they said I should be a lawyer was I'm really good at arguing. Because as a young child, I talked back a lot. Like, but I was very logical as a child. It's like, you know how most children wouldn't talk back to their parents? When I felt I was wronged by my parents, or if it was out of line, which they were, because, you know, they were really strict, traditional Korean parents, I was just like, I don't think this is right. And then they would get like mad that I was talking back to them, but then they would sit down and listen to what I had to say, and they're like, you know what? You're kind of right. And then like at the dinner table when I was younger, like ever since probably when I was like in 3rd or 4th grade, whenever my parents would have arguments with each other or like, you know, some fights over something, they would sit me, like I was at the dinner table just minding my own business, you know, eating whatever, and then they'd be like, so Hyun, who do you think is in the wrong here? And they would explain, like both parents would like explain their sides to me. It's like my dad would start telling the story and my mom was like, no, that is totally not right. And she would start telling her side of the story. And then like ever since I was younger, they would just like ask me what my opinion was of the situation that they have, and I was like, okay, like honestly, it was nice to hear it, because if I did feel like like one person was treating someone else unfairly, it was usually my dad. My dad's a very like strict, traditional like Korean man, so a lot of the things that he did I really did not agree with, so I would call him out a lot. And the thing is, like, he's definitely like the scariest in my family, like the most intimidating person in my family. But yeah, I'm like, you know, you really shouldn't treat our mom like that, or you shouldn't say these things, or etc. So it's like, I'm glad in a sense that I had a say in things, because I do feel like it gave them a little bit more perspective of how they treated each other. Because I feel like their relationship definitely improved. Was my brother this opposite or same? They actually didn't really go to my brother. Okay, so if you guys don't know, like in like a Korean house, or I mean, I guess like any Asian household, basically, it's like if you talk back to your parents, it's like, you know, like, and as a child, you're like, oh my god, like I don't want that to happen to me, and I'm scared. But I'm like, I don't care. Okay, the thing I would do though, I was a little rat. So when I would get in trouble from one parent, I would go run to my other parent. So like if my mom was mad at me, I would go run to my dad. And then I would hide behind my dad. And then I would be like, my mom would just be like yelling and like trying to come after me, and then my dad's like, what's wrong, what did she do? And then like my mom would explain, and he's like, no. And it's like the other, and then it would be flipped around. Like if my dad was mad, I would go to my mom. And like I was just like a little rat. But you know, I mean, I had to do what I had to do. What if they're both mad at me? Then then I'm just in trouble, you know. Then I'm just like in my room, sad, or like. But yeah, where was I going? I don't remember. I remember I was talking about something with my dad. Oh, and my brother. Okay, so my brother just be, like you don't want to get, so he would, like, every time my brother was asked to do something, even though he didn't want to do it, or things like that, he would always just say, like, yes. And, he's very obedient. But I was a really rebellious child. I was a very bad child in the sense where, like, I would just talk back to my parents, or I would argue, or I would, even if it meant, like, I, suffered the repercussions, I was like, if it wasn't something that didn't sit right with me, I would argue back. So, who was older? My brother's 7 years older than I am. So, as I was growing up, my brother was like, you're so lucky you're a girl, because they were a bit more lenient, and also I'm the youngest, so I was like, yeah, that's true. I definitely probably got away with a lot of things in my household that, I mean, my brother wouldn't even dare doing as a child, but I feel like I opened up my parents' eyes a lot in terms of like how they should treat us. Thank you for the sub with Prime, Condescend. But yeah, that's due to like how I was as a child and all that. They're like, you should be a lawyer, and I'm like, a lawyer? Because I was like, I like art. Like, when I was younger, I was like, I like art. I like Pokemon. I would just watch Pokemon on TV. I'd watch my Saturday morning cartoons, play Pokemon all the time. It's like, I like games. I like drawing. So, at some point, I was just like, maybe a lawyer kind of does sound like a path but they were trying to brainwash me. They're like, yeah, like, make that money. But it's like, if I ever went down the path, I would be depressed, like, immensely. I would not have fun or be into it. So yeah, I went into psychology for my first year, or I studied it for 2 years, and then I took a break because I was like, even though I actually did enjoy the subject, it's like I don't foresee myself having a job with this degree, or like a job that I find particularly, I don't know, enticing. So I was like, So I took a year off, and I really, like, I wouldn't say I, like, actively thought about it every single day, but as I was doing things, it, like, came to me. I was like, why can't I just do something that I like combined? So it's like, what do I really like doing in life? Like games, like drawing. What can I do with both? Because, okay, in my area, or I guess during my time too, there wasn't really much about, like, digital stuff. It was more like traditional art. So I was like, I don't want to do that because I didn't like traditional art. And there weren't many colleges that did things digitally. I mean, I guess, yeah. So I was like, I don't know. And then I searched around more, and then I was like, oh, there's like game dev, and game dev has to do a lot with either like software or how, like, the assets and things like that. So I was like, okay. And then I looked more into it, and that's when I ultimately ended up getting a degree in. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think how I am as a person, I don't think I could force myself to do something that I don't like. Like, there are definitely people that can do that, but I am really, I think I'm a really stubborn person. So when it comes to doing things, I can only do things that I see myself doing or that I enjoy. If I don't enjoy it, then I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna spend my time on it. So I'm glad I figured that out, even though it took some time. And my parents were like, "What are you doing with your time?" I'm like, "Don't worry, I'll figure it out." But and during the time they're like, "What are you doing?" But they're very happy. I think my mom knows what I do, sort of, but like I don't think my dad knows anything at all. They just know I do something. But like I've never really like sat down to like talk to them about like what it exactly is. But yeah. I mean, all in all, yeah, I'm glad. Getting older is nice because I just start to realize more and more what I enjoy and what I like doing and what really is worth it and worth my time. Am I proud of where I am now? I don't know. I don't think I'll ever be proud of where I am until I think I've successfully fulfilled the things that I've wanted to do. Even stuff at the Pride and Kebs, but my dad's not left in the dark. It's just more like he kind of knows what I do, but not like the part, I guess, like the intricacies of it, I suppose. Is my account name on about? No, I would never name myself that. That's cringe. Why would I name myself name of myself fan? Like I would not. Do I seem like that type of person? That's not me. UX UI is definitely not my type. Like design is hard. Like I definitely do not have the eye for that kind of thing. Especially graphic design is super hard. Like sometimes people come to me asking like, can you make me a logo? And I'm like, no, that's not what I excel at, or like that's not what I do. Like that's for graphic designers. And when you think about it, making a good logo is really hard because it's just like it's very simplistic, but it has to be eye-catching and memorable. And it's just like, I really respect people, especially like graphic designers. Like my brain is definitely not wired that way, in the sense where I can think of like something that could pull off all these messages that they want in like one logo. Yes, you have to be creative for that, but yeah, it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of brain power. It's a lot of like I guess a lot of association things as well. So you gotta have a lot in mind for that kind of thing. What program do I use for drawing? I use Paint Tool Sai. Mainly, that is my favorite. If I ever Clip Studio Paint is really, I think Paint Tool Sai is like, I think I paid like almost $60 for the license, but it's forever, and you can license it at least to 10 PCs, I think. So I'm not a fan of like Adobe's subscription-based thing because I feel like it just feels like a lot of money. Clip Studio Paint is also a really good alternative if you want to draw. But I do think Photoshop is like a bit unmatched in terms of editing, like coloring photos, and like they definitely do have the upper hand in that. Like I love editing my drawings in Photoshop. It's definitely like I finish my drawings in one sitting, or like everything in Sai, and then I go to Photoshop and like crop it, and then I like change the colors or like the curves or anything, a little bit of it, and if you want to add textures, you put that on. But it's like doing all that stuff on Photoshop is really nice. But other than that, I don't like using it for drawing, so yeah, I'm not a fan of Adobe after their I was like, why can't they just sell their product? I mean, when was the last time they actually just straight up sold Photoshop? I think it was, because I remember the price point being like 300 at least for that kind of thing, but CS6, I see. But yeah, that's been a hot minute, but yeah. I think I have Photoshop. I have CS5 right now. I mean, I've had this version of CS5 since like 2013 or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't use like their newer. I think I tried the sub once because I wanted to see what the new one was like. But I was like, you really don't need this. So CS6 literally caters to all my needs that I ever would want to like use in my drawings. So I'm like, you know what? I'm good with that. So yeah. But yeah, I see a lot of people being advocates for Clip Studio Paint, which it is really nice for its price, but it's usually on sale like a lot. I feel like sometimes at like, if you can catch it at a really good time, it's like $20 maybe, and it's a one-time fee. It's not a subscription. So thank you for the 19 months at tier 3 community bump. Thank you. But yeah, that's my advice for drawing programs, at least. And if you're like on the iPad, Procreate is like what? I don't know if they upped the price. I remember the price being pretty cheap, like at least like $7 or less. But Procreate, I like drawing on Procreate a lot. If you guys have an iPad, I mean, I like don't touch my PC anymore. Procreate is not free. Procreate you have to pay for, but yeah, ever since I got my iPad and I started drawing on it, I have not touched my PC to draw at all. But so I can vouch for it. Procreate has a lot of things. You can make animations on Procreate as well. I think they also are beta testing something with 3D texturing or something. I remember seeing it on my timeline not too long ago, so I thought that was pretty cool. But we'll have to see how it is. I think if you already have like your mesh and it's like a specific polygon count, then you're able to import it into Procreate, which is pretty awesome. I would honestly love to try doing that or like test it out, but we'll see. I also wanted to get back into 3D modeling, but honestly kind of hard because every time I go on my PC, it's like so in school I worked with like ZBrush and Maya a lot. I hate Maya. I never want to touch Maya ever again in my life, honestly. I literally despise it. It crashes so often. It's pain. It's literally like after school I was like, I'm never using Maya ever again in my life. I downloaded Unity, not Unity, Blender. I've never used Blender, but I mean Blender is free. So I've always wanted to try it. I mean, a lot of people do like it, so I mean, I feel like I'll always be drawn towards ZBrush because you have so much. I feel like the workflow is like much more fluid in comparison from what I've watched from Blender, but I'm sure if I get used to Blender, it'll be nice. Blender seems cool. Yeah, I mean, and it's free, so it's like ZBrush is expensive, like really expensive. So I mean, it would be nice to learn a free program instead of spending that much money. But I mean, paintbrush is nice. Free is good. I think these are safety pins. They're not paper clips. They're safety pins. I don't know. Can you guys tell? Like, this is step because paper clips are more like it's like circular. This has pin, like straight up pins, so it's safety pin. Maya subscription. How much is Maya right now? I hated Maya. God, thank God I don't have to use it anymore. I actually hate Maya so much. Everyone, like all my professors are like, yeah, sorry, we have to use Maya for this course, and everyone's just like, ugh, like yeah, no one wants to use that program. Yeah, I mean, I think the ZBrush subscriptions aren't too bad, but it's like it feels bad if you don't use the product like enough in a month. You know what I mean? It's like if as long as you like use it every now and then, you're like, okay, it's fine, but yeah, it's like if you don't use it that often during the month, you're like, it's a little bit of a waste of money, but I guess, you know, that's how you just feel in general with subscriptions. Is Maya from Autodesk? Yes, it is. Maya is... it's poopy. There's definitely other programs that don't crash as often and do things, and yeah, Maya's not fun, but for some reason they make you learn it because I guess some places, you know, still like using Maya, and it's like, can we not use this, please? $2.15 a month? Good lord. Well, thank God I'm not using that program anymore. But yeah. Okay. Who's streaming right now? Ooh. What's going on today? I'm gonna host Skawa. You like my streams? Thank you, I'm glad. Honestly, I think I'm a very boring person, but you know, I was thinking about it. Thank you for the 1 year Lexfer, but I'm very grateful. I like had this moment. I was just like sitting there or like laying down, and I was just like, you know what? I literally can stream whatever I want, and people will watch me, and I feel really privileged and grateful for that sort of thing. And it's like, I was thinking, and I was just like, I could probably literally stream myself watching paint dry, and you guys would probably watch with me. So I'm like really grateful about that, and you know, it's just nice. And you know, I would hope I at least give some sort of like something back to you guys, like if you like feeling comfortable, or if you just feel relaxed or chilling, I'm glad I can provide that, and I'm very, very grateful. Like, I can't even express how grateful I am, but I'm also very not good at expressing myself in the first place, so there's that as well. Thank you for the 2 months, the killer clown. Thank you. You wanna watch paint dry? I don't think you will, but I'm just saying it as like just a thing. Thank you for the 2 months, Geo3D. Thank you. Boring isn't always a bad thing as long as you have. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely. I'm grateful because I don't have to change the way I am to stream. You know, like this is how I usually am as a person. I'm just sitting here, I'm chilling. I don't really have that much energy unless if like something funny is happening, or you know, but I'm usually just sitting here chilling. Sometimes I don't talk very often. It's just nice. It's like I don't feel like a pressure to ever be more energetic or try to feel more entertaining. It's like I can just sit back and do whatever. Like if I ever felt like playing Maple Story and like didn't talk and just sat there, I could do that. I could play Path of Exile. It's just like being able, because you know how like a lot of streamers, or not all of them, but usually streamers have like a particular game that they float towards. But for me, I don't really have a game. I literally just stream whatever I feel like or whatever I like in the moment. So it's like, I'm very grateful. It's very, very nice to be able to do that. But yeah, I mean, I do like streaming different things, and what I like at the time is just makes it feel more genuine, because I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing in the moment, and it's like I can show that. So yeah, it's nice. Am I gonna stream the upcoming Pokemon games? Yes, I am. It'll be fun. I think it'll be super duper nice. I mean, I do play Pokemon a lot, but it's not like I can't play Pokemon constantly for like I get bored. Like I need more games. Like I like a mixture and balance of games. I like competitive games, I like single player games, I like games that make you think a little bit more often, like puzzle games, sometimes farming games, like just anything I'm definitely like. Yeah. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I will see you guys. I don't know, I might take tomorrow off if I feel sick. So I might be back either on the 1st of November, or if I like my Halloween costume enough, I might stream my Halloween costume for a little bit. Have fun with Scara. Say hi, Tim, for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.